Test, test, test. You got me, C-Dub? Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. Excellent. You can see me. Can you hear me? Do. No, you can't hear me. Hold on. All right, how about now? Check, check, test, test. Audio test. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Test, test. God damn it. Playback headset. Recording headset. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. You got me now? You can hear me? Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Mic check, mic check. Yay! Okay. And we're all set. Be back in a bit. Hey, are you muted? I can't hear you.
All right, how about now?
What the heck?
Can you hear me? Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't hear
Can you hear
you.
me? Can you hear me? Let's see here. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check.
Okay, talk.
Blah, blah, blah. Words, words, words.
I had you for a second. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it works on there. Works that way.
Test, test, test.
Test. I hear you. Can't hear me, but I hear you.
C-Dub says he can hear both of us. I just can't hear you for some reason.
I don't know. I hear you, though. I hear you. I could definitely hear you.
Test,
This
test.
happened last time, right?
What the heck?
What did we do? What did we do wrong? Here you go. There you go. Eating good. Hello, YouTube.
Test,
Hello,
test, test.
everyone. I have a
Test,
beer,
test,
Matt.
test.
I have a light. A Miller Light. I have a beer. I'm gonna leave out and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. Hold on. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back in.
Like I hear you for a second when I change my
Yeah.
setting, and then it goes away.
When you change your setting, it went. Okay. Hold on. Let me come back. I'm gonna come back. All right. There you go. Can you hear me?
Talking?
Yeah, I'm talking. Can you hear me?
What the heck? I just had you for a second. What is going on?
I don't know, bro. I'm sad you can't hear my smooth, dulcet tones right now. Because this just means maybe I need to sing.
What the heck?
I should tell Skylar. Ooh. Out of here. Hold on, let me do this. Let me try this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Matt, can you hear me? Put the headphones on. Put the headphones on. Oh no. Oh, boys and girls, join to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I just heard you a second ago, but I lost you again.
Damn it. I don't know what's going on, bro.
All right.
You're to the world. He can't hear me. He can't hear me.
Santa's around. It's 12 days until Christmas now. Santa's got some stuff. It's fluorescent stuff. Just tell you outside the United Center in downtown Chicago. The Rockets the Bulls made Lowry Market in game number 1.
Said they can't hear me. And that sucks. That he can't hear these smooth, dulcet tones that I'm dealing out right now to everybody across the nation. What's up, world? How are you? How's life? I'm doing well. The Chicago Bears won. Mr. Trubisky looked like a quarterback, you know, albeit against a trash team, but he looked like a quarterback. So while we try to get this sound together, I'm just going to hang out with you. So what do I got? Oh, let me see here. Let me pull this up. Hello. Ooh, I got an M next to mine. That's an M for man. Well, we're live on the YouTube stream, so I know that for sure. So I'm all up in the piece.
All right, how about now? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, all right.
It's Matthew Penn. Yes.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Matt. It's good to hear you. Well, it's good for you to hear me because I already heard you, but I saw the frustration on your face, so I didn't really hear you. But now I'm hearing you because you sound like you got a little joy now.
I mean, I do. I don't know if it's just from watching that dumbass Bears game, but like, I feel okay.
You got to give the game a little bit. You know, it was unexpected, but expected. I think that's the best way I could say it.
I was fully expecting to get pooped on. You know, just Deshaun Watson making us all cry.
Yeah.
But man, it was the Bears front seven making Deshaun Watson cry today.
Yes.
What up, Kev? What up, Evan?
And there goes the Outsider theme song once again.
Yeah. Thanks, NBC.
We're going to kick that off.
Bastards.
It's a thing. Yeah, I hate that song now anyway.
It's too mean. It's just too mean.
Kev, what up, man? Evan, what up, man? Whatever. What's happening? I need to sync with you. So,
all right, I'm listening to the Outsiders theme song on this highlight reel right now.
All right, tell me when the Bulls intro thing comes on and they get to the Chicago.
Right here.
Wait till they get Chicago Theater.
Okay. Bulls Shadow, Chicago Theater.
Thank you.
And the lion in front of the Institute turns into a bull.
Not that, Matt. What's happening? Used to love that song. Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
Larry said, "What the fuck? The Outsiders music?" UNBC. That's for damn sure. They used it several times on Friday night.
Yeah, it's not a mistake anymore. It's just the going thing now. It's not a mistake.
Clearly, to his credit, our executive producer / adoptive father, Bulldog, he texted us immediately the first time they used it, and he was like, "Well, what the hell, guys? Why are you using this?"
Yeah, we love him. Wait, we're starting this already. Kevin says Lovey is on the market. Would you want him back? We starting this already, man. Tip off ain't even begun. Like we here. You know what? 80% of me does not want him back here. I'll say that.
It just kind of seems like a step backward. It's like Bulls fans clamoring to get Tibbs back, a couple years ago.
Exactly.
What up,
Reliving ex-girlfriend glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Although I saw somebody on Twitter today had a list while the Bears game was going on of all of the things that Lovie Smith had accomplished in his tenure that the Bears have not done since they fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Like number of 10-win seasons, playoff appearances, playoff victories. It's just Lovie Smith did all this stuff, beating the Packers.
Yeah,
we have not had any of that since we fired Lovie.
No, it's very true, and it's It's not illogical, or I'm not thinking people are insane for wanting him back because like you said, he was successful. Even in his last season, he won 10 games, so it wasn't like he wasn't winning or doing something well for this team. And his team loves him. Like those players love him. They'll run through a brick wall for him. So I get it, bringing him back because we've been lost ever since he left. I completely get all of that. The reason I was okay with them letting him go because I thought that they were realizing we have to move to the 21st century and get an offense to complement our, super defense. So that's why I was completely all right with it. And getting him kind of feels to me, like you said, like kind of just going backwards. And I really don't want to do that. I'm like, we can't find a coach that can coach offense. Like, why is that hard? Like, why is it hard to get Eric Bieniemy? Like, why is that difficult? That shouldn't be hard. And look at Wendell Carter Jr.'s hair already. He took
out the braids.
His hair. He has changed the dude already.
Maybe that'll help because he did not play very well on Friday.
He did not play very well. It was one of my favorite preseason talks with you guys because John lost his mind, and I was just the best.
John was ready to jump in the lake.
Yeah, man. Last year it was game 3 that broke him. This time it's game 1 of the preseason. Like
game 1 of preseason.
It definitely moved
John
up.
Broke it.
It definitely moved up, man. So what are we looking for this game, Matt? What are we looking for?
I'm gonna look for some better defense, better job, attacking closeouts, and some semblance of offense from Wendell tonight wouldn't be like I said. I didn't mind him chucking up and bricking 5 threes in their first preseason game, but mostly I just need to see a better performance on the defensive end. And credit to Houston, they were raining threes, which is even without Harden is their whole shtick. Well, all right, and we have a miss out of the gate.
Now, even just looking at that first possession, their defense was a little bit better. Just sticking to their men, switching on the pick and roll. Even their defense just on that possession looked better.
Oh man, and that is the ugliest dribble handoff I've seen. Wild.
Yeah, Wendell Carter Jr., man, he's got a lot to prove this season, man. Among so many other players. Ooh, nice, Kobe.
That's a tough shot from Kobe.
It is, man. Excellent shot. Is there a lineup that you really want to see? Is there some players you really want to see play together so you can get a better idea of their talent?
I mean, What's up, Lakina?
Lakina!
She's watching Steelers Bills. I mean, those are two good football teams. I don't blame you. It'll probably be better than preseason basketball, but man, as far as the lineups question, I mean, obviously, I just want to see Pat Will in a bunch of different lineups, different pieces around him, because I think he's the building block that's going to stay.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a lot of what Donovan has to do this season is figuring out who he likes around him, if anyone, as far as the other pieces of this roster.
Yeah. I really want to see the different front court lineups, including, with Patrick Williams, like you stated. But I want to see some lineups with Patrick Williams, with Wendell and Laurie. I would love to see Wendell Carter Jr. at the 4 and Gafford at the 5. I want to see Pat Williams playing the 3. I want to see him get a little run at the 4, just being a stretch for us, seeing what else he could do there. Like, I just want to see him play around with those lineups and those big men, because if it's anywhere that we have depth, it's that front court. So I want to see how everybody feels comfortable, with certain players. So I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, the only thing that I would protest to there is the Wendell Gafford combo.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of Bulls fans have been, interested to see that. We didn't really see it ever last year in Gafford's rookie season. But I think that there's a reason, like as dumb as Jim Boylan was,
No,
I think even he knew that you lose so much floor spacing ability when you have those two on the floor together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gafford is great at setting screens and rolling to the rim and crashing the offensive glass. But he barely has a mid-range game, let alone stretching beyond the 3-point line. And as we saw last Friday night, Wendell's range, not there. So if you put them in the front court together, where's your spacing?
You're right. I just want to see it because I keep saying, I think he's playing out of position. I think he's better suited being a power forward. So I just want to see what it looks like. That's all. I just want to see it from my own eyes. And all your reasons are completely valid. Everything you said is completely logical. But it's just I would love to see a Patrick Williams, Wendell Carter Jr., Gafford, just to see it. I just want to see it.
So, blocking foul or a charge or no foul and just out of bounds on Kobe?
Nothing.
What?
That's
wow.
Now, am I crazy, or does Kobe White have new tattoos? Do I not remember him with tattoos last year? Are those new?
No, I think
he had that last year.
I think you might not be crazy. Those might be new.
All right. It feels good to be told I'm not crazy. I'm not used to hearing that.
I was actually just thinking about that the other day. So you know how a bunch of teams were doing like the year one picture of a bunch of players and then lined up to like this current media, photo shoot and whatever year it was.
Oh,
so
nice.
it was year 1, year 13. And there were side-by-side shots of rookie D Rose and this year D Rose, and the huge amount of tats that he's added over the last 10 years of his life, or 2 years of his life. And like so many NBA players, you go and see that it's like rookie year and then current year, and it's like they have just spent the last however many years of their career decorating their bodies.
Yeah, another reason Dennis Rodman is in the Hall of Fame,
right?
Seriously,
I was just thinking that like. For him, it was like, oh my God, look at all the tattoos this guy has. And now in the NBA, it's like that's like standard.
Oh, Wendell, confident looking shot and terrible.
That wasn't a shot and an air ball. That was a pass to Otto under the basket.
So when do we pull the plug on this experiment about him shooting threes, guys? Because honestly, he looks comfortable shooting them, but the ball is not as comfortable as he looks.
Speaking of which, Lowry. Ooh,
oh my goodness!
Not that Matt said. Wendell can't be a power forward in today's game without a good jumper.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Absolutely correct. I'm saying all I want to do is I just want to see what it looks like. It's little stuff I'm looking for when I see it. So it's just something I want to see because it's preseason and this is where you can get weird. So I just would love to get weird with that and just to see it.
Things got to give when it comes to who is going to stick around because you just drafted Pat Will, and I think we will see him play some 3 in his NBA career. I think he has the the athleticism to pull that off on the defensive end.
Sure.
But I think mostly with the shift towards a lot more small ball matchup wise, he's going to end up playing a lot more 4 than 3. And you're talking about Wendell maybe being a better fit at 4 than 5. And then you got Lowry. So it's like 3 of your most important pieces that you're trying to figure out all are log jammed at the same spot, basically.
Yeah. But the good thing is with Pat Williams, you can move him to the 3 easily. He looks very comfortable there.
Yeah.
And Lowry, I mean, he's a 4 that honestly I don't want to see play anywhere else. So honestly, the only thing I was trying to figure out was Wendell.
Woo!
Nice, all the Porter Jr. Only thing I was trying to figure out was just Wendell. But again, everything you guys are saying are correct. Don't have a jumper, you can't play the 4. Can't stretch the floor. Oh my God, can't stretch the floor if you don't have a 3-point shot. I mean, all these things are accurate and true. So yeah, he's got a lot to prove, man. Because him playing the 5, I mean, like I said, he's been solid. Being a 10-10 guy, but man, those big guys just really work him hard. So yeah, we got to figure that out, man. And shout out Jimmy Collins, bro.
Can you imagine what John's going to be like tonight if Wendell has another bad game?
I can imagine what he's like right now. Dude, he's freaking out right now, dog. It's going to be must-see TV, man. Make sure y'all tune in to that, bro. Like, it's going to be must-see television, straight up. Gustavo says the Archie man bun. Yeah, Archie, you know what? Archie has gone with a lot of different hair looks since we've been following him since, being Wolves Outsiders. And he hasn't missed, in my opinion. I don't think he's missed with a look yet. Like, he's taking risk. And I like a guy who's willing to take a risk with his hair. So he's doing that, and I ain't mad at him at all. Wendell Carter Jr. needs to learn to love being a 5 or find a new home. Ooh, dang. Cold blood.
Find the fish or find new jobs.
Oh, my goodness.
I was just going to say, sir, it's not a fish. It's a mammal. Well, excuse me, Ms. Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, we're going to do that from time to time, guys. We're going to go off on tangents on movie quotes. This is going to happen. But again, this is why you love us. Because this is how it's going to go down, baby.
Sometimes you just need to chop up the ugly basketball with some Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Yeah, it's what happens. Hello, Captain Steubing. Permission to come aboard, sir.
Howard Gopher and Doc.
Oh, you're right. This looks so amazing. Do you understand?
Dude.
Honestly, I think that scene is underrated about, how can I put this? It's underrated as a pro animal, like, what's the word? PETA. It's really
the organization that's about protecting animals.
Correct. It's really an underrated scene that's pro PETA because it made so much sense just making fun of that, what he did just right there. It made so much sense to me, as a kid when I was watching that. And I was like, wow, I never even thought of it that way. Like, people wearing a fur. He said, oh, you're right. Let me try it. He knocks out a human and puts it on his back. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So it's amazing. And as funny as that was a great lesson. Honestly, it was a really excellent lesson Ace Ventura taught everybody right there, man. Didn't he have a cartoon?
I think there was an Ace Ventura cartoon show on Cartoon Network for a while. I don't think I ever watched it. It wasn't voiced by Jim Carrey.
It was not.
So, then what's the point?
Lakina said we wouldn't have it any other way. That's why we love you, Lakina.
Oh, Otto.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, good thing is Bulls are not down 40.
Hey.
Progress, guys. So progress there. That's a good thing. But I'll tell you what, John Wall looks ready.
Dude, he looks like John Wall. I think that was the thing that everybody was wondering about most with that trade with Westbrook is like we don't have any idea what John Wall's going to look like. We haven't seen him in so long, and it's crazy.
Ooh, nice.
Not only John Wall, but We saw Steph Curry come back for his first action in a long time this weekend. We saw Kevin Durant earlier today take the floor with the Brooklyn Nets coming off of his torn Achilles. All these huge
nice.
stuff.
Beautiful play. Beautiful play.
There we
Great
go.
look, Lowry. Great look.
Well, so there's something Wendell can
There it
do.
is. There's the thing. Ooh, but John Wall.
It looks really weird seeing John Wall in a Rockets jersey. Like,
just knew he had that one. That felt good. I felt good, Kobe. Felt good. I like the pace of this so much more.
What's weirder, seeing John Wall in a Rockets jersey or last season seeing Westbrook wearing a Rockets jersey?
Westbrook. Honestly, Westbrook. Oh, foul. Nothing? Westbrook for me was a little weird because I just associated everything about him nice with OKC. It's John Wall I hadn't seen play in 2 years. But
Right.
Russell, I saw he was there every time every chance he could get, he was in the game. So
Yeah.
it's not as weird. It's more of a I'm just happy he's playing kind of thing,
As much as we just are not seeing that as these days compared to 80s, 90s, even 2000s basketball of like star players playing with the same organization their whole career. You just thought that maybe Westbrook and Wall were going to be two of those lifers. Spent his whole career in OKC, spent his whole career in Washington.
It's weird, but he looks comfortable and happy out there. And I forgot Robin Lopez is there. Completely forgot he was on that team. Lakina says Westbrook in a Rockets jersey. Yeah. Not that Matt said this is the start Saban was looking for, and he's a no-show. He'll be here. He'll be here, man. He has husbandly duties that he has to attend to. He's got to do his thing. It says the Ace Ventura reference. That's why I'm here. Yes.
Got plenty of those in the back pocket.
That chamber's never empty, baby. Nice defense.
Well, that one was pretty ugly.
Terrible recognition, Otto Porter Jr.
What?
Seriously, terrible recognition.
You try and save an air ball?
But it got blocked. That's why he tried to save it. It got blocked.
It did. Oh, I thought it was just an awful shot.
No, it got tipped by Zach.
Instead of letting it go out of bounds, being Bull's ball, he tried to save it and failed for no reason.
And here's Pat Williams in, and he's in at the 4, just like I said I wanted to be. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, subbed in for Lowry. I mean, I think that's the most logical first step if Donovan's evaluating this roster because he sees Wendell as this team's starting center and Lowry as the 4.
As a 3. Nope. Let it go. Let it go. I think you're going to see some interesting, clever passes from behind that backboard now that nobody's there. And I saw that with Chris Paul in the bubble when he.
You mean like without all the camera people along
the camera people, the cheerleaders, all those things not being there. Guys going to have a little more room to do stuff.
There you go, Zach. Draw the contact.
And one.
Yes,
there you go.
sir.
Nice.
All night. Give me that all night.
I do not like the style of his braids here. It just looks different and weird. Like I don't believe you're a good basketball player when I see your hair braided like that. That's for real, dog. Like for real. Nice play though, Zach LaVine. He's the only one of the Bulls who looks like he's in, midseason for like he's ready to play basketball for the regular season. He's the only one I've seen so far. Pat Williams, I can't say it about yet because he's a rookie. So,
right, and we don't really know what the scale is yet.
Oh, nice rebound!
Look at that
rebound right there. All right, survey. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. What do we hear? Wendell Carter Jr. needs to set those screens with purpose. Otherwise, he's just clogging up the lane. Sure, I'll take that. Is Jacob says, is this going to be for every game this season? Well, Jacob, Matt, you go ahead and take that, sir.
So here's what we're thinking the plan will be moving forward. We won't do the entirety of every game. Maybe sometimes if we feel like it, we'll do the whole game on Hot Mic at post game. But what we're thinking is that we'll hop on at the start of the fourth quarter and then watch the game with y'all through the fourth quarter, and then go from the fourth quarter into like a 25, 30-minute post-game show outsider style. So kind of combining watching the tail end of the game with you guys and then going into post-game thoughts after that.
That's what we're going to do. Says the three amigos need their third amigo all the time, and he'll be here.
John just like, oh, I have a wife I have to take.
And we're like, nah, Bulls are our life. We'll do it. All day long.
The Bulls are my wife, John.
The Bulls are my wife. I need a t-shirt that says that. The Bulls are my wife. And Gafford subs into the game. Not that Matt says we've got a guy on the bench that sets great screens. Excellent, sir. Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Matt, that's your first warning.
That's well done.
You do have the power to kick people out of here.
This is true. This is true. That's very excellent. That's very excellent. Hell yeah. None of my friends watch Bulls basketball like I do. Thank God for you guys. Well, thank God for you too, Evan. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
Hey, and you know what? Oh my goodness. I keep saying a healthy, productive Otto Porter would do so much for this team.
I say a healthy, consistent Otto Porter would do so much for this team. He's got to be consistent. Yeah. He'll give you like a couple games and then he'll just disappear off the face of the earth. I want consistency.
But I just, unless AK is just going to run like a secret tank and just evaluate the roster and not care about winning, I don't see the point in all of this talk about Otto not being a starter, coming off the bench, being concerned about his minutes. Like, if he's not healthy, then he's not healthy. But by all accounts, he is completely healthy. Like, the load management thing with Otto is bullshit. Like, he's 27 years old. Go play him. If he's healthy, play him. Because he's one of your best players.
Agree. Go, Kobe. Oh! Recognition. That is a point guard recognition play. I loved what I saw right there. That was an awesome play right there. Great recognition. Oh, look how good Felicio looks in a warm-up.
Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't yell Connie Hawkins when Gafford stuffed that
Preseason, Matt. You can't get it preseason, baby.
What's our channel?
You're not getting that all early. Too early. Tyler, what up, man?
Tyler, what's going on, man? Welcome to the party.
And also, guys, if you want to even go even more in depth with the party, you can come on and join us. Just go ahead, click that big old sexy button right in the middle of your screen. Click it. It'll allow y'all to give us a small donation and come on and talk with us and hang out for a while, man. We would love to interact with y'all. We would love it. We would love to interact and see your faces. So click that button.
The more the merrier. Yes. We had Salvadome hanging out with us on Friday night.
See, you come on, you get a cool nickname. That's just really how that works. That's really how that works.
Gus said Otto trying to get that money. Yeah, dude's playing in a contract year. Yeah. And I think everyone around the league is looking at him as being one of the most overpaid guys in the league over the last couple of years based on production versus salary. But he's still, as I said, only 27 years old. He has one or maybe even two lucrative contracts in front of him, but he's got to prove that he's still a player worth paying to do that.
Very true. Great point. And even looking at the other side of it, let's say the Bulls aren't playing well. If Otto Porter Jr. is playing well when it comes around midseason, there's definitely going to be playoff teams looking at him, trying to make a move or trying to make a trade for somebody like that. So he's got a lot on the line for himself. Period. Not the team, but for himself. He's got a lot on the line just looking at his career going forward, man. Because if he wants some more of that money, he's got to show out. He's got to play better.
True. Thesis fan, what up, dude? Not that Matt says can't wait till he's off the books. I assume you're talking about Otto. I mean, it's a lot of money coming off the books.
A lot of cash.
Add Felicio's $8 million on top of that, and boy, he's limited cap space.
Tyler says, how much did Cousins cost the Rockets? I felt like that would have been a perfect signing for this team. It didn't cost them much. He didn't have a huge contract. His last 2 contracts actually have been very small because when he was with the Lakers, that was a really small deal. So yeah, it's been small deals and small contracts, but
1 year, 2.3 million is the exact answer
small.
there. That is affordable.
And keep in mind, Felicio makes way more than that.
I think my favorite one last year was learning that Felicio made more than Montrezl Harrell, who was the sixth man of the year.
Crazy? That's crazy, dude. Honestly. All right, cool. I'm happy just chilling on the bench. Like seriously, dog. All right. I promise you, the day he signed that, there are certain players, the day they sign a contract that they're done playing basketball. Like when Eddie Robinson signed his contract with the Bulls, he was done playing basketball. He was done. I quit. He was gonna cash that check. Period, dog. Like it's certain players like that. Oh, there it is.
Wow, that was some pretty atrocious transition defense from the Bulls just now.
And the great David Nwaba is on the floor.
Lakina said that's a bargain for Boogie.
Bargain for Boogie. A turnover by Kobe White.
We're going Boogie bargaining.
We also got to figure out. Oh, Archie's in the game early too. We got to figure out. Or I should say, Kobe White's got to figure out his comfort because I know they want him to be. Oh my goodness, they just ran right into him. Yeah,
way to step in there.
Yeah, what you shaking your head for? You bulldozed him. Like, no, I didn't do that. Yeah, you did. Like, we're looking at it.
Sure did.
That's a charge every day of your life. But Kobe White, yeah, he's got to figure out his comfort, man. I know he figured it out towards the middle of the season last year, but he's got to do that a little earlier now. And I'm not saying he's got to do it here in the preseason. I'm just stating the point that he's got to figure out his comfort level. And I know he wants to be that great facilitator. Can he be? We don't know. We're going to figure that out. But the things we know about him is he can put the ball into the basket. He can definitely get the rebound and start the break. And he was great at that. He definitely has a mean step back 3-point shot. He's a great scorer. Now, all those other things that come with being a great point guard, we're going to figure that out this year. But I don't want him to lose what he's good at, trying to, do stuff that he's okay at. And I don't know if he's going to be good at being a facilitator or not. I just want him to do what he's really good at, man, and have everything kind of adapt around that.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think the biggest test in front of any player on the roster right now for this season. We want to see growth and a correction back in the right direction for guys like Lowry and Wendell. But I mean, Donovan's basically asking Kobe to run this team, and that's a tall ask for a guy that young.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
C-Dub said, I don't think Sato is available. Maybe that's why Archie was in there. I didn't hear anything on Twitter about Sato not being available tonight. Denzel obviously still out with the hamstring. He'll be out until 2026. And the other player that we heard was unavailable was Noah Vonleh, who is in the league protocol, but Donovan was pretty vague about it. It didn't say specifically if it's in like the COVID-19 protocol. Maybe he registered a positive test today or something. But those were the only two that I knew for sure as far as, updates from Bulls reporters today about being unavailable. So I don't know what's up with Sato not being in the rotation.
There you go.
Oh.
No, good for you.
Hutch, running in transition.
There you go. Yes. That's basketball.
I'll give that a go.
That's basketball, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw a basketball play by the Chicago Bulls. Oh, my God. I am excited. That is awesome.
Look at that. Just a nice transition drive and dish.
Simple. Like, just simple stuff. Nice shot. Oh.
Inconceivable. Here's a tweet from Casey just now. If you're wondering why Archie in for Sato, it's because Sato isn't at the game, has an excused absence confirmed by Bulls PR. Okay. So there you go. Gustavo, Young Scottie Pippen, get out.
We're going to do this. Not that Matt said Kobe is who he is and should stay that way. Dudes don't develop into facilitators. Be who we drafted you to be.
So you're saying Matt Nagy would tell him to be you?
We'll let that slide today because they won. I hope Zach's okay. Zach did slip and go down on the floor and then went out the game. Yeah. So we got to basically, if anything's wrong with Zach, his preseason's done. I'm gonna tell you right now, like we're done. Yeah. They'll play him in the preseason. Like I don't.
If anything's wrong with Zach, my preseason is also done. Larry said, "Tell John it's safe to come back. A couple of our guys can play tonight."
Come on, Larry, you got to hit me when it's that wide open. Okay, I gotta keep reminding myself that it's preseason. I gotta keep saying that because that's exactly what I would have said in the regular season to him.
Tyler said, "How many Bulls players make more than Cousins?"
Ooh.
This is sad. Doesn't Archie make like 1.8? I wonder why there weren't many suitors. I think Archie actually makes more than that.
I think he makes like 3.
I'm pretty sure the deal he signed was 3 years, yep. $9 million.
Yep. So Art,
which if that doesn't give you hope that anything is possible, I don't know what does.
Oh man, and let's go. There go Nawaba, baby. I believe that was Chandler Hutchison's man who didn't box out. Yeah, got inside on him. Yep. Got inside on him, man.
But Dave, I've heard all these things about how Chandler Hutchison is such a great defensive rebounder.
I'm telling you.
I've heard this all the time.
You, people make fun of Wendell Carter Jr. saying we don't know his skill. I kind of feel that way about Chandler Hutchison. I don't know what he does well. I know what he can do.
He did just click out for that Levine 3 in transition a couple minutes ago. So we know he has at least an assist in the box score tonight.
Arch, what are we doing? What happened? You know, now looking up close at Arch's man bun, I don't know if I'm a fan of it. just getting that quick up close view. I like the risk. I do like the risk, but I don't know.
But I hate it, that look that so many athletes are rocking these days. I feel like it started over in European soccer leagues. Like Euro soccer players are all about that look where it's like, we're going to shave the sides and the back, but we're going to keep the long crap on top and put it in a man bun.
Which is like crap.
And so it's like it's the 20, it's the millennial version of the mullet where it's half business and half party. But instead of front and back, it's bottom and top. It's fucking stupid.
Matt Peck's hair tips, yes.
Like, hey, if you want to rock a man bun, rock a Joakim top knot. That's
He's
the
the
way
one
to
that pulls it off quite nicely, man. He pulls it off nicely. Tyler says the Bulls got the all hair line up in there with the man bun, the Hutchin line, and the Williams Pro, and sprinkle that with a little distinguished white. Very excellent point, sir. Very excellent point. I'm not even mad at that. Gustavo says I'm.
Yeah, that like the Dennis Schroeder patch in the front.
Gustavo says I'm glad I'm bald. He's got the get up and go, as I call it. Get up and go. It doesn't take me no time in the morning. Like you save yourself an extra 5-10 minutes.
Or if you're like me and Dave, just put a hat on and then walk out the door.
But that's the problem, man. That's still going to take me 5-10 minutes because it's got to be the right hat. It's got to be the right. And speaking of hats, let's talk about your hat, sir. Look at that smoothness hat that my man has on right now. That is awesome.
Shout out Fanatics and Mitchell and Ness.
Feeling that right there, bro. That is ill. I like that.
Had to switch it up because my other new Bulls hat I wore on Friday did not serve us well. So.
Shout out Book Jones for the tip. We appreciate you, sir. You are also allowed to tip us out there if you don't want to come on and speak to us, but why wouldn't you? But if you don't want to come on and speak to us, you are allowed to send us a tip and show us your love that way also.
Well, we can confirm that Sabine is watching this game, so he must be multitasking while watching and, probably his wife. But he just texted you and me, Dave, just saying Gafford.
It's good that he's in a better mood. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just happy he's in a better mood now, and that's a good thing. Good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to John earlier in the day Friday, but
nothing good, man.
Good.
It wasn't going down. It was Gafford, 4 points, 2 rebounds, and a block. I mean, that's what you like. That's what you're gonna get. You like that's what you're gonna get, man. He's gonna score. He's gonna get the high percentage bucket. He's gonna block shots. He's gonna rebound and run the floor. It's just good. It's just good that to have that, you know what I'm saying, that ability on your team. It's just great.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at these mad dribbling skills from Arch. Yeah. Take it to the hole. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, give it back to Arch. Yeah.
Post. Get out the way.
Come on, Lowry.
Go work him.
Come on, Lowry.
Dang, I want him to work, though. I want him to work. I like the play. I do like the play, though. I like the play.
Right. I mean, because if he can knock down that, step back elbow jumper, like the dirt shot at 7 foot, nobody's blocking that.
What is that? What was that? Oh, nice.
Oh, nice cut, that Will.
Listen, excellent vision and excellent decisions is what you just saw right there. You saw the vision by Otto Porter Jr. and Patrick Williams not stopping but continuing to move without the ball. That's stuff that you're not supposed to really know at 19. Seriously.
Right. And I mean, that was a play built by two players who, one, AK and Donovan, and everybody's been praising about how great Pat Will is already moving off the ball. So you saw him make that, see that read, make that cut. And Otto Porter Jr. Remember last season when we just watched an entire season of god-awful basketball where offensively this team had no movement and no vision? Otto Porter Jr. can see a court, and he can see people making cuts. So many times last season, it was like somebody on a rare occasion, if they actually would try and make a cut off the ball, whoever had the ball didn't fucking see
all
him.
That is fact. All I want, Matt, like I keep, is the consistency. That's all I want, man. That's all I want from him. Everything about his game is just, veteran play. Welcome to the league, son. That's all that was. Welcome to the league. It's all good, but he'll be fine on that. You'll be fine. But yeah,
pretty sure Kendall Gill pulls that move on his kid when they're playing.
Boy, that clip of him showing his kid that he put up with his kid, giving him that work. I was like, if you watch it, I promise you, if you watch that second bucket, the second to last bucket he hit before he won, that's when Kendall knew it was over. Just watch his body language when he hit that shot. He knew it. He was like, uh-oh. He was like, uh-oh. My kid is about to whoop me right now. I hope he don't take all my money.
But I loved it even more when he posted the rematch a couple days later. Where
I didn't see that one. I didn't see the rematch one. I didn't see that.
Oh, dude, go find it on Kendall's Instagram.
Is it titled rematch?
It's just straight, just Kendall.
Okay, I'm gonna do it on Instagram then, because I'm sure he put it on there too. You're gonna put up. You want to put your victories on every platform.
Oh, Lowry, there you go.
Like it.
Wow,
God, Lowry, yes.
I mean, I love the drive. I love the drawing of the contact. But can't you finish that for an and one? Come on.
I agree with you, Matt. Yeah, you are 7 feet. I agree with you, Matt. Little fella. Yeah, you got to finish that, bro. You got to finish that. Yep, you got to finish it. Got to finish that. I love that, though. I love that. More of that. More of that, man.
Turns out we haven't seen it in a million years, but there's a reason we all thought that Lowry could put the ball on the floor and get to the hole, because he can.
Just a thought, just an observation. He can put the ball on the floor and get to the bucket. No, Boylan wants him to get the rebound and start the outlet. That's what he wants.
Go stand in the corner, Lowry.
Sorry, I did it to myself. All right.
Self-preservation, Dave.
Yeah, had to do it to myself.
Not that Matt said, is Lowry using the pass to set up the run? Hey, shout out David Monk.
Shout out David Monk.
80-yard touchdown.
That was quite awesome to see, Matt. It really was. That was really on the first play, and it set up everything. And Tyler wanted to ask us about the Bears uniforms today. That I like them. I liked them last year.
Them.
I mean, when they're from 1936. I mean, so I have historically I don't like them, but they look nice.
There's some very bad vibes that go along with that jersey.
Yeah, story I'm not fit, but yeah, they look nice. But yeah, David Montgomery. Oh, got him. Wait.
There you go. Nice deep. And
ow! I'm gonna tell you what he missed. He missed the lob to Laurie early on. He missed that lob, man. But
I mean, the steal and then being that aggressive in transition, you love that
turnover. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. But see, that wasn't a critique. You know what I'm saying? That was like, oh, that's fine. Just let you know what you missed in the preseason game. That's all.
Oh, here we go.
Pass. That's a cocky shot right there. That's a very cocky shot. But yeah, David Montgomery, man, running the ball sets up the pass. Period. It's that simple. Mitch had an easy game because of that run. It set up everything else.
Speaking of running the ball, I saw your boy got a couple of snaps this afternoon.
You saw it, Matt. I was thinking of you the whole time, baby. As soon as Kevin Harlan said his name, I was like, say it louder. Ryan, no. And he was involved on the fumble on special teams. I was very excited about that too.
Wow. That was a really nice pass. Pat Will almost got in that passing lane, though. Dude, I love this kid.
I just like how he plays. It's the IQ is off the chart.
Ball on the floor, Larry. Oh, dear God. He pulled the chair out from under him. That's embarrassing.
He's got, Lowry, that's on you, bro. Good decision on the defense, absolutely, while pulling the chair out from under him. But
and that Lowry is, we've seen that so many times from him, where he's trying to get position in the post, and people will pull the chair on him, and he falls for it every time.
Man, he's all right.
It's like he has no feel on his back hip when he's trying to back down.
Agreed. And he's come out the game for a little bit, but he's definitely played a lot of minutes in this first half. Which is good.
Well,
which is good. It's not bad.
I mean,
go to the post.
Some of those games last year when it's like, oh,
dude, it ain't about you, Archie. Go to the post.
Archie's, dude, sometimes I feel like Archie wants to be White Rondo with some of those moves he does behind the basket.
White Rondo, I love it.
Dude, he steals so many of Rondo's moves, man.
I love it. That's awesome. Wait, was he here when Rondo was here?
No.
17? I don't think.
No, I don't think so. He wasn't here yet. I think that may have been his last year at Nova.
That is awesome. Evan says Larry needs to stop thinking he's a three-point shooter. He doesn't shoot the three ball well at all. You're right. He doesn't. But the fact that teams think he does is what's important. Because that way he can pump fake that joker, or teams won't leave him. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like the fact that he can David Copperfield you and just fool you, with the magic that he can is great, honestly.
I don't agree with that at all. Like, yeah, he had a bad shooting year last year, but he had a bad everything year last year.
That's an excellent point.
I think the fact that he was just turned into a catch and shoot spot up shooter really messed with his rhythm, and also perhaps was like trying to shoot through some weird oblique injury that we didn't really know a whole lot about. But I'm sure that would mess with his shooting form. So guess what? Last season he shot 36% from downtown. His rookie year, he shot 36% from downtown.
That's good. You're right. You know what? That's good. You want that to be 38 for him, but 36 isn't bad. 36 is not bad at all. But yeah, I would want that to be a little bit higher, just to make him that super threat. But again, 36% is enough to fool people into thinking he can drain that. So that's good. That's good for his game. That's how your pump fakes work. That's how teams. That's how it helped Zach LaVine when he's trying to drive to the bucket and they don't want to leave a shooter. That kind of thing helps. So
right.
Yeah, I'm glad that's what's going on.
So yeah, let me clear that up real quick. So he shot 36% in his first 2 years, and then last year it dipped down to 34.
Of course it did.
So like, he did not. But I mean, to say that he's not a 3-point shooter, that's ridiculous.
He's got to hit. Yeah. How you like the haircut though? You like the Laurie straight haircut? He comes with different looks though.
Dude, I kind of miss like the long crazy curly locks.
I did
Lowry.
like crazy lock Lowry. I did. I liked it. He looks like he's more business this year. Like that's what that haircut says. Like I'm not playing around. I'm more business, guys.
I do not disagree with Evan's comment saying just go to the damn basket. You're 7 feet tall. Yes, okay. I agree.
Yeah, and make the shot when you get to the basket.
Right.
Nice. Finish. Come on, Wendell, man. Wendell, man. Come on, man. Dude. I want to hear Will Purdue's thoughts on this. Defensive 3 seconds.
And now we got defensive 3 seconds on Wendell.
T-Dub says Wendell's floater is garbage. Truly. It's not good. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. It's not wonderful things.
Dude, who's got a great floater?
Denzel.
Great floater.
I do want to see what everything looks like in game 3 and game 4, when Thad and Denzel kind of get back into the mix. Just to see,
I think you are making a ludicrous assumption that Denzel will be available for their third preseason.
Dude, I love how you said he's going to be out till 2026. Oh my God!
I just go based off the evidence, man. 2 years ago, if you recall, Denzel had a minor injury to begin training camp. They called him day to day at the beginning of training camp. And then they said, okay, not day to day. It's actually week to week. And then it was like, just kidding. He's having season-ending surgery, and he plays 0 games this season.
That's a fact, man. That happened. That's exactly what happened.
6th man of the year.
Dude, when I heard he hurt his hamstring, I said, man, this dude better have 2 albums done. Seriously. You got nothing but time, dog. Not that Matt says Laurie doesn't like contact. Being a white Giannis isn't going to happen. That's why he wants to shoot threes. Yeah, I don't agree with any of that.
I don't think I've ever heard the white Giannis comp for Lowry before.
I don't know if there is a white Giannis. Like, to be real with you.
No.
Ooh! Oh, the Tars. Thank you. Woo! Well,
there is a white Rondo.
Yes, we've established that's a right Rondo. Yes. C-Dub said, does he even use his hamstring?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. You pushed him. Yes, you can't do that. What are y'all surprised about? You're on camera. We see you. Oh, beautiful.
Nice pass,
beautiful.
That
great
was awesome.
Play, man. Great pass and great seal by Lowry on that. Great job.
And, hey, Lowry didn't miss the dunk.
He did not miss the dunk. He did miss the dunk.
Low expectations.
Lower expectations.
Come on, Zach.
Oh, Zach's back out. I feel better.
Ooh.
Yes.
Automatic.
Mid-season form.
Great screen, Wendell. Yeah.
Man, Zach got 15? Dude, for real? Like, I didn't even know. Like, dang, that's amazing.
Yeah, dude. When he subbed out at near the end, like when middle left in the first quarter, he already had 12.
Yeah, he's impressive. Hey, good defense. Good defense, Bulls. That was their best defensive sequence since the opening tip.
Much
Excellent
better.
job. Excellent job. Is that Jeff Hornacek on the bench? Nice.
Could be. Finding himself a new home after getting just abused by the New York
that pass,
Knicks.
Man. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. That's a beautiful pass. It really is.
I mean, Dave, we've only got 5 minutes left in the second quarter, and knock on wood, we aren't even down by 10. Yeah. We're only down by 6.
Is that Nishka? Hello, Nishka. What's happening? Hey, guys, how are you this night? This night, we feel wonderful. We feel great. Can't complain, Nishka. Nishka, what you should do is hit that button and come on live with us and hang on out and actually ask us some questions and talk to us. Come on, y'all. Y'all come talk to us, man.
Love the camera shot. We don't bite.
Hard.
John? He's
as Austin says, I don't bite. Hard. Careful, I almost got tossed for bringing him up. For Felicio, yes, you did. You did.
Yeah. No, Felicio was a DNP on Friday,
wasn't glorious. It was glorious, Matthew. Glorious to see this dude make it warm.
I love how, even though it's a preseason game and Donovan and everybody, empties their bench at the end, he was still just like, no. No.
We see it there, dudes I ain't never seen before. And I'm like, Felicio is like, nah.
Oh, my God. Dude, when the Bulls' official Twitter account was posting Felicio highlights from training camp, I was like, guys, can we not? Let's all be realistic here and admit what's going on, because all we think is that you guys are dumb when you try and shove Felicio training camp floaters down our throats.
Yes, absolutely. And
Felicio out here grinded. Yeah, okay, cool. Tell him that he doesn't have to put on a jersey ever again.
And we really mean that. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, ever again. He doesn't have to be here. You don't have to put on a jersey. We good. We're all right. Everything's fine.
Dude, he's going to be backing up Zion in New Orleans next year. Guards going to be like, hey, Felicio. Hey, big boy. I need you down here.
Dude, I'm promise you, they should look for that trade.
Oh. There's tack one more on the Outsiders theme song. Thanks, NBC.
But another, I loved your tweet about it, Matt. When it first came out, I was like, this is so Matthew Peck. This is great. I love that tweet. I laughed so hard.
So something funny happened there. I saw, our friend Danny, who's one of our friends over at NBC Sports, who does all the booking and is the logistical wizard over there. She liked that tweet of mine and then unliked it because I'm pretty sure she just read the first part that was like, shout out NBC, and then read the snark that it ended with, and she was like, oh, he's making fun of us.
Yay! Oh. Ooh, big shot.
Oh, my goodness.
Shot, man. House. Oh, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. That's golden stuff right there. Oh, man. Brandon says preseason is to work on your game. Felicio has already perfected his game. He doesn't need preseason garbage minutes. Yeah. It's about right.
Like a 2K player who reaches their, threshold of their window of possible rating. Like Felicio's topped out at a 68. So he can't. You're right. He's perfected his game. He can't get any
He knows
better.
what he is. Nice. Man, Kobe, dude. Now, you know what? I'm learning what Kobe is comfortable as a facilitator at, and it is off the pick and roll where he could use his size to keep that defender on his hip. So when the offensive player dives to the bucket, he hits him. Like that's where I can see. Okay, I see it now, Kobe. I got it.
The pick and roll where you keep you put your defender in jail, as they say.
Exactly.
He's already showing that he's learning and getting better at that.
I see it.
And hey, guess what? Billy Donovan, I'm guessing he has something to do with it because Billy Donovan loves him to pick and roll.
Look at it. Keeps him on his hip. Boom. Nice. Great pass.
Yeah. And perfect placement on the bounce pass, too.
Where all he had to do was just float to the rim. Excellent play. Excellent play, Kobe White.
I mean, speaking of placement of passes, though, that behind-the-back pass from LaMelo yesterday, that's one of the best passes I've seen in a really long time.
And I mean, that he put it – I mean, I was speechless over where he put it. It wasn't the behind – it was he put it right there. Like, all you had to do was lay it in. Like, it was one of the most perfect passes.
It was the opposite of Mitchell Trubisky ball placement.
Shoot that.
Go.
There you go. Woo! Yes, man. Nice. Sure
didn't even move.
Seeing Kobe's game come together. I'm seeing it. I like it. Coming together. Keep it together. That's both fingers. Yes, it is. Awesome movie.
Great play. Bro said, good work if you can get it. I'd sit on my ass and watch the Bulls from the bunch for half that.
Yes, I would. I mean, half. Like, dude, take 75% off of that salary. I still sit there.
I remember sitting there thinking at the charity gala that we went to last year, and Felicio was sitting at our table, and I remember having these conflicting thoughts. We were like chatting with him and getting to know his girlfriend a little bit, and they were very nice. But I was like, I can't believe this motherfucker is a millionaire. This dude sitting at this table with us, making $8 million this year. And also feeling guilty that I had made so much fun of this guy on my various podcasts, shows, tweets. And he's just like this guy smiling across from me at our time.
Hey, shout out Niska for the tip. Shout out outside. Appreciate you, Niska. Shout out. Again, people, you can join Niska by tossing us the tip, showing us the outsiders love. We appreciate it so much. Thank y'all for being here, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. It's always a great time. But yes, man, I didn't feel that way at all. I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel none of it, dog. Like zero. I was like, yeah, he knows what he is.
I felt more guilt about a different human being's feelings
because he know what he is, man.
Like,
what are we doing? Like, it's not like we told lies. Like, we know what you are. Come on, dog. You happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm very happy to be here. Not that Matt said so Felicio has a great personality. No. I mean, maybe. And maybe he was just shy with us, but I think he said about 12 words the whole night. We mostly just talked.
Oh my God. Yo, my God. Oh my sweet Jesus. Dude, he tried to wow. He tried it. I'm liking this dude a lot. Oh my God. He tried it. He tried it. I thought it was a quick layup. Ooh, that's an ugly looking form of a free throw. I'll tell you that. That's my first time seeing him shoot a free throw. I've never seen him shoot a free throw before.
We got another text update from Sabine.
Wow. Go ahead.
He said we are the greatest team of all time. So I don't know if he's being sarcastic or if somehow Fred managed to drug him.
Listen, he's on uppers and downers, man. He's on uppers and downers.
I thought I was supposed to be the unbalanced, like
he's taking your role.
One.
He's taking your whole thing. He changed it up on you, man. It's the beard, Matt. It's the beard. That's what it is.
Does that mean I have to start cracking like 80 dad
and they all
jokes
have to
every
be
second?
hilarious.
I don't know if I can do that, man.
Yes, man. He said, Sabine, texting live from the ledge. Excellent job. Kevin says, Outsiders Patreon coming soon. Okay.
I mean, we don't need Patreon if you guys just throw
tips
us
are right
tips
here.
right here.
Right here. Literally right here. You can just toss us all that. You don't have to go to another app to toss it. It's all right here, baby. Just go in there and click it, toss it into us, Kev. We right here. And we will appreciate it and give you virtual hugs for doing it. And also, you can no, you're more than
wow. Oh, they call it walk?
You're more than welcome to come up on here and hang out with us, man. You're more than welcome. It is open.
Brandon said Pat Williams almost made all of us pregnant on that.
Dude, I felt a little bit. It was scared. Yeah, I felt a little bit. Lakina says,
take a test. Got to go pee on a stick at halftime.
Lakina says, I told you guys, Matt's calm. John's freaking out. We've entered the twilight zone. Hey, Kev, thanks for the tip, man. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate your tip, bro. Thank you, my man.
Appreciate you.
Virtual pound to you. Virtual pound. Appreciate you, man. But yes, dude. Yeah, it's preseason, man. Preseason. All kinds of wacky things happening.
Right. If I'm watching God awful Bulls basketball in a month, I'm gonna probably be upset about some stuff. But like I thought it was the first preseason game, and John was like, "This is all garbage."
Oh man, I'm so glad his finger's not on the button. Like seriously, like yes, man. Because dude, like I couldn't get that. Like I understood everything he said made complete sense to me. Everything. He wasn't wrong at all.
He wasn't wrong.
But to be that angry and to be there, like throw it all away with trash. I can't get myself there after one preseason game. I just can't. It's not in me to be there after that. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Cannot coach with him.
And watch the game with
win with him.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Oh, Mike Singletary. I promise you, if he won, that would have worked. Like that whole shtick would have worked if he was winning. Like, but the fact he lost, they'll never give him another position again to him for that, and that sucks.
Yeah,
because he's a good dude.
Oh man, Dave, it's almost halftime.
What does this mean?
You know what that means? It means we're gonna have another friend joining us.
He's
sometime in the third quarter, maybe the beginning of the third quarter.
V-way.
Call the wife.
Call my wife. Tell her I am on the way. Oh, took that thing. Go take him out, Laurie. No, Laurie, go hit him. I don't like that. I want Laurie to keep going, dog. No, I don't like that.
I mean, what? And pick up another pointless foul and give him an and one? Like, what do you want him to do?
Give me a pointless foul, sure. You're right, though, Matt. Yeah, that was regular season day coming out. You wanted him to go all the way. That was regular season day. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Look at this, man. We got a tie game.
Ooh, that was mean. Yo, that was mean.
And there's Lowry getting
hey, bro,
worked.
that was mean, dog. Watch this again. Watch the head fake.
Oh my God. That little hezzy right there. That was filthy. Just throws Lowry.
That's good stuff. And that's why Lowry will not play center, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly why. In case you've ever wondered, if you wanted to see it, just what it looks like, that's what it's going to look like. He should never, ever, ever play center. Ever.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Gustav, what are you talking about D Wade in the chat for? Oh, is that your guess as to who's going to be joining us soon?
Dude, that would be just glorious.
I don't think so.
You hear me? To get that kind of royalty.
Come on,
Josh says Dave wanted Laurie to hip check him in preseason. Yeah, I kind of did. Bro. I kind of did, Jay. I kind of did, Josh. I kind of wanted to see that, dog. For real, man. Have time. We had halftime.
Yeah. Tyler said Carter looks so out of place. I mean, did you try an Olympic swimming pool? Like, maybe he missed his calling. I don't know what's going on, but it's not looking great for Wendell in the preseason so far. No, Gustavo, Dwayne Wade will not be our special guest. We wouldn't invite him.
I would definitely invite him.
him.
Like, don't listen to me.
They would invite him. And if Wade has ever heard any of the things I've said about him, he would decline that invitation.
I guarantee if he's heard anything Matt said, he would definitely come on the show. No question about it. He would come on and he would change Matt's mind. And at the end of the segment, Matt would be giving him a hug. I promise you. He would hug him. He would hug him. But when you hug him, he would be slapping him on the back very hard the entire time.
Did you see that Photoshop? D-Wade dyed his hair that ridiculous green color. Somebody photoshopped Serena Williams behind him going like this with a tennis racket.
That was brilliant stuff, man. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a
Gustavo
choice
says
from Wade.
special guest appearance by Saban's wife.
No, I don't think Karen is that tolerant of the three of us talking basketball together.
But I think you're right. Brandon says, so Gabrielle Union then? He would take Gabrielle Union on the show in a heartbeat. Yes, he would. Because he's a smart person.
Yeah. Because much like D-Wade's buddy Jimmy Buckets, I love me some Gabrielle Union, man.
She is a phenomenal person. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Anytime I see a picture of Gab Union, I'm like, I'm like Jim Carrey in The Mask when he's sitting in that, that lounge. Eyes pop out of his head and then his heart's beating through it.
He turned into a wolf. Like,
right. Yeah. That's me when I see Gab Union.
That's good stuff. Oh, man. Halftime, y'all.
Halftime. Take a little stretch. Visit the John if you need to. Visit the kitchen. Get some snacks. Get yourself a beverage. We'll come back for the second half, and maybe we'll talk to a four-time NBA champion. What's up, everybody? Second half action. I think we had a Purdue sighting right before we came on, or right before I got back on. So hopefully he'll be back on with us in just a second. So, Dave, apparently Will came on before both of us came back on and was confused and texted me. He was like, hey, where are you guys?
That's right, I did.
Hey, came on like the Terminator. What's up, Will?
What's happening?
Everything's good, my man.
How was the weekend, big guy?
Man. How about them Bears, baby?
How about them?
You know,
can't get excited yet.
Now that it's way too little too late, yeah, great. Mitch made a terrible defense look like a terrible defense.
Well, what did somebody text? It took 4 years for them to realize they got to shrink the playbook and just do what the guy can do.
Yeah, just run and not think. That's what he's good at. Run around on a bootleg, not think too much.
Get him out in the open.
Have a good running game. Yeah, get him out in the open and have a solid running game. Like, yeah, he can do. If he has that, he can be better. So we'll see next week when they play the Vikings for sure. The Vikings have an excellent defense. So, man, we shall see.
Dude, I like that we get some Benetti today because Amin was calling a Packers-Lions today.
I didn't realize that every game Benetti did last year was on the road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because, they were rotating people in auditioning to replace Neil, but Neil still did all the home games.
Yeah.
I think that's how they did that. Like they let Neil cut down on his travel for some of the road trips.
William Purdue.
Will, what do you think about that first half, man?
Well, much better. I wish that I think because Sabine was on the he was ready to jump off the ledge that last game. I wish he was on here, but I think until he calms down. Remember when you guys first started working, I would call him Jason all the time?
Yeah. Yes.
And one time he goes, dude, I've been here for like 6 weeks. My name is John. Oh, sorry, Jason. But listen, it's we talked about it's preseason. Obviously, a couple things jumped out at me. We'll get serious here for a minute. I just did pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their fast break, initial offense, and secondary breaks really good. And initially, and this is what I liked about Kobe when I saw him in college. I saw him play the very first game against North Carolina. I think he had like 5 turnovers in the first half. But how quickly he learns. I wrote down Kobe's aggressiveness. When he attacks the basket, we all know how good he is, how well he can finish against bigger players. But I saw him a couple times early struggle with the screen roll, but then later he figured it out. And he adapted really quick as far as whether he threw a bounce pass, chest pass, whatever it was, much better. It really jumps out, though, still is that initial line of defense. The perimeter defense is not good. The help defense is not good. But, people are like, well, they're doing much better, 56-53, but also the Rockets are still shooting a bunch of threes. They're just not making as many as they did the other night. So it's not like I'm sitting here going, man, this is such a different team.
Yeah.
It's just it's the same team, but, they're actually knocking down some shots. I like the offense. They're going quick. how about this one? How about the Bulls getting a favorable whistle?
Yeah.
I thought they were getting the benefit of the doubt on a lot of the calls, which I really like.
Yeah.
So, and Zach seems to be a little more engaged. He didn't get in foul trouble.
Right.
They're attacking the rim. Remember, I think Houston was up big points in the paint Friday night, was it not? Yeah. This time it's the Bulls. They flipped the script 18-8. They're just, and as I mentioned all that, the interesting thing that still sticks out about how much better this team can get, because I still think their shot selection is questionable at times. So
yeah,
we've already seen improvement, because what was the one thing that Billy talked about after practice on Saturday? Lengthy film session. Because that's where I think this team's going to learn more than anything is the time they spend in the film room, and not also the film room, but taking this stuff home with them and working on it at home and constantly going over it. And just, you can do the same thing in the film room that you can do out on the floor. Repetition, it still works. It works on both sides.
So let me ask you real quick, because I want you to explain the difference between on how players watch film. Because I'm sure there's an art to how you just watch it. You don't just turn it on and you see your mistakes. Like there's a science to how you watch the film, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. My son was watching the game with me again tonight, and he was just like, "Oh man, did you see that?" And I go, "What did I miss?" He goes, "Aren't you watching?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I was watching Gafford on that play, or I was watching Lowry on that play. I wasn't necessarily watching the ball." And with technology now, and this was just starting as I was finishing my career. You can walk into the video guy, which is Billy's son, by the way, and be like, "Hey, give me every play when I'm on the floor." And all they got to do is just every player is assigned a letter, right? So in my case, right. Will Purdue, all the video guy would do is just press W, boom, and that now they just take it, stream it to your iPad. Back when I was doing it, they could hit W. And within 3 minutes, I'm getting ready to leave, and he runs up to me and hands me the DVD, and I can watch all the plays with just me in the game. But the interesting thing is they'll be able to break this defense down and show about rotations, freeze it. Much like you see us do, when we get there on the big board and we break it down and we have the cone and the dots, and the coaches will be able to do that, and they'll have it for the players, by tomorrow. And that's the other thing that they can do a lot of. With everybody having an iPad now on the road, they talk about how by the time the game ends and they get to the airport and get on the plane, most of the guys can have that stuff downloaded on their iPad, and they can watch on the plane that night and watch the screen rolls, watch the mistakes they've made. And as we talked about, there's so many coaches now on the sidelines, they're all taking notes. And as guys coming off the floor, "Hey, check this out, do this, watch this." Each guy's probably assigned 2 or 3 guys that they're kind of watching to take notes that they can talk about. And that's like you talk about, Big Dave. It's not just watch the game. Hey, it's, hey, and here's the other thing that people don't remember. People's mind, or should I say players' minds, they can remember a game verbatim over 48 minutes. And they can sit down and be like, "Hey, I need first quarter, I remember doing this, don't remember the time frame. Second quarter, this. Third quarter, this." And then you can take that stuff home, man, and that's the other thing. I don't know how many guys are like this. I was not a guy that could go home and just shut it off and just pass out.
Right.
I would just go home and go over the game in my head and not get to bed till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Even on a home game when maybe you roll in the door at 11.
Yeah.
So everybody's different, but that's most of these guys. They want to work on this stuff immediately, at least if they're anxious, about what they're doing and want to get better.
Will, I like you said that, pretty much all the players that make it to this NBA level have that, photographic memory of how every play of the game worked for them, and they can recall it, because it completely nullifies all of that ridiculous praise that LeBron James gets, that I think is ridiculous. What? When LeBron's doing post-game and talking about, like, so this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And the media's like, "Oh, my God, I can't believe LeBron remembered all those plays." It was like, yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, both almost.
You're not special, LeBron.
He is, bro. Sorry.
correct that statement.
In that regard,
he is special, but and that's the whole thing about. Let's talk about something real quick. I can honestly say, when Deshaun Watson does a press conference, I walk away from that press conference feeling like I know the game better. But that's the approach that he takes to maybe let you think about, hey, he's really good. Look how he's breaking this down. I did not get to watch the Bears game because I'm in Louisville and I was doing other things. But obviously, things did not go well. But at the end of the day, all these players can do that. And I promise you, as much as people don't like Mitch Trubisky, he could do the same exact thing, break it down the same exact way. But it's now taking that from the room, from the press conference, and then being able to analyze all that while you're looking at the defense. Once the ball's in your hand, what do you see? Just like they talk about guys, it's when you see guys taking that next step, and that's when I think you'll see Kobe, in my opinion, take that next step, is when the game slows down in front of him and he can kind of almost predict what's going to happen. He's still going to make mistakes, but then that's when I think you'll see him become much more of a facilitator. You know, I wrote down Kobe's aggressiveness. I think he was just looking to be a scorer tonight. I think he was trying to set the precedence early, get the defense on their heels, and then once that happens, then he can be a guy that can then be later in the game be more of a facilitator, look to turn the corner, sees the defense, which you saw, I think, in that second quarter when he went back in the game, and then all of a sudden now he's picking guys out, the screen roll, guys on the wing.
Yeah. We were admiring his usage of the pick and roll.
I tell you what, he did a really nice job, didn't he? And I'd love to.
He kept the defender on his hip. Had a really nice bounce pass to Wendell. Like, there were some nice reads from Kobe in the first half.
Pass to Lowry, yeah.
But I also like to see more of that Lowry, Wendell Carter Jr. screen roll, because then you really put the defense in a bind when you got two bigs that can go big on big screen like that, and you got a guy that can come off the deck. So, hey, I did have a question for you guys, and I'm going to drop off and watch the third and fourth quarter.
Sure.
Are you guys like, when you're watching auto play, are you like scratching your head? Because he's got like that devious smile on his face the whole time.
I mean, hell, I'd smile like that too if I were making $28 million this season.
He's the one guy, Will, that has to just be consistent, because you see how important he is and what he brings to the team when he's on the floor. But he just has to do it at a consistent basis, because we've seen him do it for spurts, but we just haven't seen him do it just game after game after game.
And that's the thing. Can he stay healthy? But I know we're just having a good time here, but he kind of looks like he has that same smile on his face that he had in that video when he was in the nightclub passing out the champagne.
He does. He's definitely always just smiling.
Yeah.
So maybe part of that's because he's healthy.
Yeah, he smiles a lot. I can't be mad at that.
He should be happy to be out there on the court again. But and like he's made some nice plays in this game. He had 1 3. Will, you were talking about shot selection a couple minutes ago. He had one quick trigger on a 3 that Dave and I both thought was a bad shot. Yeah. But other than that, he's knocked down a couple. He had that one really nice pass to Pat Will when Pat Will, made a cut to the basket off a screen that was really strong. And that's what I think that this team was missing for, all of Otto's absence last year, is just like a guy who has the ability to read the floor and make the right play, whether it's to take a shot if he's open or to pass it and who to pass it to. It's like, it seems like so rudimentary, but it's noticeably different when he's out there just making the right play.
Yeah, he's kind of like the stabilizing force for those guys.
Yeah.
And, it just, if he can stay healthy, this is a different team. But much like we talk about Kobe, same thing with Zach. When both those guys really get better on the defensive end of the floor, both those guys do a better job of
Zach commits a bad foul,
anticipating what's going to happen on the offensive end, and Zach works on his shot selection. I mean, as good as Zach played, I could list probably 4 or 5 really what I called really bad shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And until he can eliminate those bad shots, he's probably going to – people are always going to think about him as look, he's an empty calorie guy. But once his shot selection really improves, And then all of a sudden, I think people will, and he does better on defense. Then I think people will start looking at him a little differently. But, if they play like they're playing right now and they go, 30-42, I'll be okay with that because it's entertaining. They're giving themselves an opportunity to win games. They'll learn. It's just that now they have to, much like we saw last year and the year before, they still have to learn how to close. And I mean, isn't outside of Otto, isn't Zach like the second oldest player at 25 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I mean, Thad Young, who's like a million, but yeah, that old is John.
All right, but here's the last thing, and I'm going to slide out. I wrote a little note on the side. Wish we still had Nwaba.
Oh, well, don't do this.
Don't feed into the Bulls Twitter obsession with David Nwaba.
Yes.
It's like we let him go, and Bulls fans thought we let MJ go.
I'm not comparing him to anybody, but what I'm talking about is like, I'll give you an analogy. Like when I go to the store, I can buy the high-priced wine. Remember we talked about last week? I can take a right and pay 6 cents more per gas on the right side than if on the left side. Yeah. But I believe in bang for the buck. And you think about Nwaba for what they could have got him for, especially coming off the bench. I mean, hey, I love the fact that he's found a home in Houston. I think he's playing well for them. And listen, we can't keep everybody. I get it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Will, they had to pay Felicio.
Priorities, Will.
It's
as a former center yourself, you should appreciate how much money they gave
Felicio. Is Felicio giving part of that back to Gar?
We were just talking about that in the first half.
It's a possibility.
Gar's going to go to the owners in New Orleans and be like, all right, this guy's fresh off his contract. We need him. We need to sign him.
People are going to be like,
Wendell,
how is Gar flying private and not commercial? Felicio Air.
Will Purdue, ladies and gents.
All right, gentlemen. We'll see you post-game, right?
See you post-game, Will Purdue.
All right, guys.
We'll be here.
All right, man. We know him. That's Will Purdue, man.
Will Purdue.
Oh, Will Purdue. How wild is this?
Chris said the only three-point shot I'm comfortable with Wendell taking. Scott said even Wendell was surprised he made it. Nishka said Lowry's shot's looking rough. Yeah. I mean, we were having a conversation about Lowry in the first half. He's not having a great night. I think he and Wendell combined to start like 1 of 11 from the field in the first half. It was not good.
It's struggle. And it's funny because they're really good shots. Like they're really open. You know what I mean? These aren't tough shots that he's taking. But I mean, I think the tone was said when we saw him miss a layup, early on, we saw him miss that. And he's just been struggling with his shot. But it's funny because I'm loving what I'm seeing as far as him getting open, as far as him making the move to the bucket. Like I have no problem with that. I have no issue with how he's playing. The only issue is the shots aren't going in. Like that's honestly the only issue, which is something I can deal with in the preseason. Honestly, it's something I can deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say right now, unless either of them have some miraculous turnaround in the third quarter and might not even play the fourth quarter. Lowry and Wendell, 2 biggest disappointments in this game tonight. Ooh. We're talking about what we've seen from Kobe, making the right reads, distributing. Zach clearly just came out and was a walking bucket right from the tip. Yep. We like some of the things we've seen from Otto tonight. Pat Will, obviously, another game where he's been engaged. He had 3 steals in his first 9 minutes on the floor, getting involved, getting his hand into passing lanes. Lowry and Wendell, man, just not bringing it.
Even though, I mean, that's his 7th point, and he does have 6 rebounds. But yeah, just overall, it just doesn't feel like, he's bringing it yet. That's the first comfortable shot I think he's taken. Like, honestly, that 3-point corner shot, it felt natural. it felt more comfortable than the rest of the shots I've seen him go up with. But he's been missing layups. Ball's been getting taken from him. He's been solid on rotation and things like that, but he just struggles against bigger guys. Like Boogie Cousins is a huge human being. He's gonna struggle against those kind of guys, man. It's just what it is. So we gotta find a way, to put him in the best position possible for him to succeed. And I don't know what that is yet, except outside of that corner three and outside of some pick and rolls, but we're gonna have to find it though, because he is a talent. He does.
There you go, young. Ow.
He's got talent, man.
I will. Oh my goodness. Bulls defense. Get your shit together. Oh dear.
Rebound.
Okay. Come on, Kobe.
Nice. Oh, come on, Wendell. Dude, how Wendell didn't expect that? Like, I expected it.
Wendell is never ready for a pass.
Man, dude. What John say, he needs LASIK.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is some sloppy basketball right now.
Oh. Man, this is sloppy ball right there. Yeah,
you go ahead and put that down as the worst possession of the night. Oh, my God.
Get it out the system. Get it on out the system, guys. Let that preseason flow. Let it flow.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, dude, that was tough stuff. 13 turnovers, though, by both teams. So it's not like Houston is blowing you away with their ball handling skills either. But on Houston's side, man, like we keep talking about him, but John Wall, man, he looks ready. I'm excited at how good he looks on the floor. He just looks comfortable. Come on, Laurie.
Here you go.
He brought up the great David Nwaba. That's a tough shot. That was a tough shot.
Yeah. But guess what? Every shot that every shot that Pat Williams takes this year, I'm good with it. Shoot.
Don't you pass up no shots, sir.
You are my everything. You are my future.
Matt's going in early.
I want you to know. We're all counting on you.
No pressure. But everything rides on you. Oh, look at John Wall. My goodness. Man. I'm glad. I mean, Kobe's going to have to, get better and get more acclimated to defending these kind of guards. Because
I was worried out of the gate because Kobe picked up 2 quick fouls.
He did.
Trying to slow down the freight train of talent that is John Wall. And credit to Kobe and also credit to Billy because, it's a preseason game. If you foul out, who cares? He left Kobe in after those 2 quick fouls, and Kobe let the game come to him a little bit, and he turned his night around.
Nice, Lowry.
Oh, come on.
Come on, baby. Nice. I
just got really close to my first hat throw of the season. I had it. I took it off. I was ready.
Good season, Matt.
Oh, Lowry.
Oh, tough.
I like how aggressive Pat Will is, though.
He's aggressive. My goodness. But yeah, John Wall. If the 2 players I think are ready, John Wall and Zach LaVine, just look ready for basketball. Everybody else I think needs these next 2 preseason games.
Yeah.
Especially for the Bulls.
Man, Zach's been working on the boards tonight. I like that.
Let me see his rebounds here.
Oh, no.
Let's see this. What you doing?
Oh,
God. What's going on here? Hey,
you know who that isn't?
Did you see how fast that was? Did you see how fast that was, Matt? Did you see how swift that he got out there? Like, he wasn't even sitting there waiting to figure it out. He was out there, quick, fast, in a hurry. There's a problem. I need to address it. Let me get out there on the floor and see what's wrong with a basketball player. Not buy a hot dog, not look at the coach, not let me see my sweater vest and make sure it's right. No, let me get out there and see what's wrong with the player. Yes. Oh, all right. Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, God, he got on my nerves.
Yeah. It looks like Lowry just kind of banged knees there. You know, hopefully that's just a little stinger and not a bigger problem. I cannot handle that right now.
I'm not even thinking on it. Niska said, "Preach, Big Dave." Hey, man, look, hey, bro. Now to tell you, if it was anybody, I couldn't stand. It was that dude, man. Anybody, it was that dude. Oh my gosh. Oh,
seriously. Welcome aboard, Todd Campbell. May we never have to think about Tanaka again.
My gosh, man.
Brandon said Boylan's still probably looking back, thinking of the Gafford injury. Like, hey, remember that time I forced the opposing coach to take a timeout? Outcoached him real good. He made Rick Carlisle call a timeout because one of his players was hurt.
He traveled. Yep, you traveled. You did. You traveled. But yeah, you're right, Matt. Exactly what happened. I mean, it's exactly what happened. Oh, that was. Oh gosh. Guys, he's on the floor. Like, you're not going to call timeout? Bill's character.
Ryan said athletic trainer sprinting out makes the highlights for tonight. Yes. And not just like highlights from a Bulls preseason game. Like, I want that to be the number one play in the Sports Center top 10 tonight. Is a Bulls trainer in appropriate amount of time addressing an injured player on the court.
Simple things, man. Look, that's what Josh said.
Revolutionary shit, you guys.
That's what Josh said. The training staff doing the bare minimum has Dave ranting. We went through some dark days. Yes, we did, man. And like, it's the bare minimum. Oh, that was a tough pass, but a good one. All right. He's got no moves, but okay.
Every time I see Archie's man bun, I hate it even more. Also, what the hell was that layup attempt?
He should never be the option with 3 seconds left on the clock.
No. He should never be the – you could have just stopped. He should never be the option.
Fact. That fact. This is true. Waiting for the update on Lowry. I can't wait to hear this.
Casey just tweeted Hutch in for Marketing, who is still getting looked at on the Bulls bench. And do you know who banged knees with him? David Nwaba. So,
boys. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the Will Purdue. Your boy. Your boy, Will. Your boy.
Marketing 1 of 10 tonight.
Oh,
Gafford. There you go, baby.
Gafford.
Oh, and
wow. Look at that. Look at it.
Blocks the shot, then gets out to the perimeter and knocks a ball away.
What he does, man.
As soon as Gafford went out there, I was like, oh, this is a pump fake and a baseline dunk.
That's what he do, man. Ooh, that's on the Waba.
And Gafford out there contesting the three. I like
down the floor, he was open. He's got a guard on him. Dang it.
Come on. No, we got to get the ball to Archie.
Ooh, Will. We see you, young fella.
Let's go, baby.
I like it, man. And that's the other thing I like about Daniel Gafford is he ignites. You know, his blocks ignite things. You know, his play on defense, it ignites the team. And I really like that. Good defense.
Arch. Yeah.
Arch. Arch doing what he does. Draw fouls.
Drew loose ball foul. Yeah. Gustavo said I put a Lowry highlight reel on Twitter. I'm afraid to watch.
I am too, actually, good.
It's just a bunch.
What are you gonna be looking at, sir? I'm worried.
The Bulls got a nice little 2-for-1 opportunity here at the end of the third quarter.
All right. Yeah. You're right. Come on, set this pick. Roll.
Oh, that was not a great pass.
Hey, 25, you shoot that ball. I don't even know who you are, so you shoot it. Yeah, 25 is supposed to shoot that. 25 is supposed to shoot that, man. Sorry. He's supposed to take that shot. You're supposed to
I mean, yeah, like it wasn't a good pass, but you have to.
But you have to take that shot. Especially because I don't know who you are. You got to take that shot for your NBA career. And two, it's going to keep the floor balanced. You're not taking that, really messed up the balance of the floor. You got to take that shot. Oh my gosh, what is that? Ah! All right. All right. Almost over. That's why I'm clapping.
12 minutes to go, baby.
Del Carter Jr. finally hits a three.
Oh, that's Zach Norville, the Chicago kid.
Ah, okay.
They're showing these great, Stacey calls on this "You're Only Home for Chicago." Did you hear that call that Stacey had last night? I didn't hear it or on Friday.
What did he say?
I didn't hear it at the time, but it was PG-13, shall we say?
Oh, actually, I did hear that. I did. I heard it on Twitter, and I heard it again. I said, "What?" And I played it again, and I played it twice.
It was Noah Vonleh just backing somebody down, and he said, "Open your mouth and take it."
Yeah, he did.
Stacey,
he said this.
Stacey, what are you doing, man?
Hey, man, preseason, man. Everybody's getting it out. Stacey ain't been on in 9 months either. You got to remember that.
Well, that's a new one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one will catch on, though, Stacey.
It's been a while for everybody, man. I'm looking at these highlights. Yeah, they're not flattering. Gustavo said that they're not flattering at all. Laurie falling down and then him air mailing a ball out of bounds over Zach LaVine's head like he did last game. Funk's not there to keep him in line, is what Ryan says. What's up, Ryan, by the way?
What's Stacey been watching in the offseason says not.
Martin says, Big Dave, Laurie building you a brick house on Laurie Island. Hey, you know what? That's excellent. I want to applaud you for that. That was excellent.
Lowry's brick. How?
Excellent. Just as y'all was quiet last game on the preseason, you loud this one when he's 1 for 10.
Running back the Outsiders theme again.
Oh, got to have it.
Thanks, NBC. Thanks.
Got to have it. Got to have it. Oh, excellent. You know why I'm not worried about what didn't concern me about Lowry? And I said this earlier. It's because the shots he was taking were good shots. I think I would have been more upset if they were like 4 shots and they looked bad. Like Wendell Carter Jr.
Right.
Like I wasn't upset that he was just missing. I'm like, okay, it's preseason. I'll let that slide. Uh-oh. Ooh, they were going for it.
He just chucked that off a gaffer?
He sure did. Just tossed it off his backside. Oh, now I realize who Archie looks like right now. He looks like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
Oh, yeah. It does.
I was wondering, is it bothering me? Like, who does he look like? Oh,
I low-key love that movie.
Lakina with the tip. Hey, Lakina with the tip. Appreciate you, Lakina. Oh, break to back.
That portly old guy who plays the interpreter in Last Samurai.
Yes.
he also plays that character in Harry Potter, I think.
Oh, see, I'm not a Harry Potter guy.
But yeah, he has that one line in The Last Samurai. He goes, "Oh, fellow linguist, oh, capital."
Yo, man, that was excellent. I must say, that was excellent. Good job. Good job.
Low-key great movie.
Low-key great movie, yeah.
Ken Watanabe is awesome in that flick.
Yeah, I agree. I just like movies when Tom Cruise is it. Like, those are always my favorite movies, though. Like, just go Tom Cruise on them. That's all.
When he's like
rehabbing from his wounds, and they're also weaning him off of being like a shaking, like unfunctional alcoholic.
Right.
And he's rolling around on the ground yelling, "Sake!" So good.
You can't do that when I'm drinking, man. You can't do that, man. Wait, what was Arch doing, by the way? Because Gafford was wide open.
Arch was busy winning basketball games, Dave.
There you go. Take them
Normal.
That's what I'm talking about, Normal. Take the shots. Just take them. Pull them. Take Archie's spot. Like, for real. Take it. He ain't doing nothing with it.
Ooh. Damn, that was silky.
Wow, Kobe out there with the extra reserves.
Archie!
Yeah, Archie's like, it's my spot.
Yeah.
My spot. I want the spot. Brandon says we keep doing that, we might have to learn his name. That's what I'm talking about. You got to hit them shots, man.
I'm guessing there will not be a spot for him on the 15-man roster.
I don't know. I say we keep him, though. Toss him to the G League, at least. But let's see what he does.
Who knows? Denzel is,
great point.
Maybe just not going to be available.
Excellent point, sir. Excellent point. He's out till 2026. Will forever make me laugh. That is hilarious. Hey, Jeremy Grant. We know your uncle. It's a good dude. That wasn't really? He's supposed to have that. He clearly was shooting. Oh, well. We'll go. Josh says Archie getting his shots up. Hey, he know what season it is. Uh-oh. There you go, 2-5. Keep putting them up. Don't even worry about it. Keep putting them up. Keep putting them up. That's a travel. Yes, it is. Do you want to win this game, Matt? Don't care? Okay.
I mean, yeah, it would be good, maybe a little good for morale kind of thing. Like, hey, we won a game. We haven't played in 9 months, and we got our asses kicked on Friday. Just, as a, hey, Archie's catching fire.
Archie don't like it. He said, it's my job. It's my job. My spot.
I mean, I think it would be good, especially just because even though it was a preseason game and their first competition. Oh,
man, Hutch.
Oh, way to hustle. Yeah.
That stuff.
Zach Norval hustling for the loose ball for a second chance opportunity, and Kobe buries it. I love that.
That was awesome.
Woo!
Norval with the tip out. That was excellent. Splash. Excellent stuff right there. Excellent.
It could do some good to win this game, because even though it was just a preseason game and their first game in forever, I think Donovan was right to kind of get into them a little bit, like for getting their asses kicked on Friday.
Absolutely.
And trying to figure out how they would respond. And, obviously Donovan would have to do his part, and I think that the Bulls have made some decent adjustments tonight. But to get rewarded for a bounce-back effort like this, I think would be certainly good for the mental and emotional strength and health of this team right now.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, preseason or not, winning's fun. So you want to get one. I always feel like in preseason, you want to get one win. Like, I never just not like just losing everything. I think you should just get at least one win, one victory going away. So, yeah, let's get one win. And then, it's like kind of getting the monkey off your back kind of thing. It's not in the back of your mind anymore. You got the victory and this stuff. Ryan says Boylan called and said they lacked heart. Hey, Ryan, I need you to do something for me. I need you to look right here, okay? Just look at the camera. Just look there.
Go ahead.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera, Ryan. Look there. There you go. All right. That's for you, buddy. You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Nishka says coaching adjustments. What? It looks like we're having nice things. Look at us having nice things.
Marlon said, "Is Sato okay?" I started watching late. Yeah. So the update we got was that he is excused for personal reasons tonight via Bolt PR. So sounds like not an injury, but an excused personal absence.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. Not that messy. I look too. What are we talking about?
Like, I don't know who you guys are, but you're gonna have to show me some kind of ID. You cut that out, you're gonna give him brain cancer or some shit. Lowry having a good night? No,
he's not. He's not having a good night.
I mean, we could have lied to you and given you a new memory. Make it a happy memory. Yeah, Lowry played great tonight.
But no, see, you left him.
You kicked him out. Go to town, get yourself a massage and maybe a facial.
Get a designer up in here because dang.
Is this before or after he was an alien?
Oh, nice.
Oh, Gafford. Oh,
dang it.
Oh, got it on the board.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, they're calling it a jump.
Man, I like me some Gafford, man. I just like it. I love the energy that comes with it. Just like how he plays. He needs tick. He needs tick. Hopefully Billy Donovan feels the same way about him getting some tick. I like the fact that I'm seeing Patrick Williams look like a rookie as far as his shots not falling. It's just good for me to see that because, you need that kind of humility, especially in the preseason, I think. Like, it's just good to have that kind of humility and getting acclimated. But he's still contributing at the same time because he's contributing on the defensive end for this team.
Yeah, no, I'm all with that. Sorry, I was just distracted by that disgusting brick from Hutch just now. Because guess what? If he were young Pip, he would have gone glass on.
Oh, my God. Is that Felicio at the scores table?
Oh, God, no!
Is that Felicio at the scores table? Oh, no. Oh, that's a heck of a move.
I mean, how are you putting Felicio in front of Cornette?
Yeah, seriously. You got Luke Cornette there. Is that Felicio coming in? Oh, that's him. Even his beard doesn't look normal. Like what is that?
Ow!
His beard.
Ow!
His beard. What is that?
Looks like a chin strap on an equestrian helmet.
Did he become Amish during his time off? What is that? What is that?
I don't know, but it is not good.
Oh, nice bag.
I mean, I know I have no leg to stand on when it comes to making fun of people's facial hair right now, but oh my God.
Oh my God. Like, yo, what is it? It's the weirdest.
It's like a neck strap.
Yes. Oh, you gotta take that shot, rookie. Take that shot, Rook.
Oh, Pat Will. Look at Felicio.
Oh, look at chin strap.
He's gonna hurt one of his teammates. Remember that game last year?
Nice. Come on, 2-5.
Where it was an inbounds baseline, and Felicio didn't know he was supposed to be in the game, and he came running from the other side of the court and knocked somebody over.
Oh, 2-5. Hey, bro. Normal, baby. Normal. I'm all about normal right now. I'm all about some normal.
Dude, look at this 13-0 run. Wow.
Sabine will be pleased. Ooh, that's a brick. But yes, Matt, to answer your question, absolutely. I remember when Felicio forgot he was supposed to be on the court and he was getting an Uber Eats order or whatever.
And his coach didn't notice that he only had 4 guys on the court.
I mean, that's the worst part. And that's the part. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the part I kept harping on so much. That is beautiful. I mean, honestly, that's beautiful, man. That's basketball. But that's what I kept harping on. His coach is at half court yelling at the team. And he don't realize there's only 4 of them out there, dude. Like, I don't get it.
He checked for Archie.
It was.
That's never a phrase you want to say. Oh, Lou Felicio. Yeah.
Twan, what's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. I didn't get a notification that y'all were live. How dare you, Hot Mike? Get that man his notification. Well, we bear.
I was just going to blame Twan's phone, so it's not our fault.
Twan.
Clearly, your phone is malfunctioning.
That just means you got to come on live with us then, Twan. That's all that means. You just got to come on live with us and talk to us face to face. That's what that means, sir. So press that button. Press that button and come on and holler at us.
Brandon said, is it too early to say we should start Felicio over Lowry? Get out. Get out.
Bye. Goodbye.
Warning. That's a warning.
Warning, sir.
Chris said it wasn't at the Wizards game. It was a game against the Wizards when it happened with Felicio.
Definitely was.
Dude, the Rockets are doing us a solid and pulling the Rockets and having a long scoring drought right now. Archie. What?
Oh, go to work.
Oh.
Got a foul.
Drew a foul?
Got a foul.
There you go.
I like how he went to work on the young. I like how he went to work, though. Man, dude, look how he went to work on this dude.
I like it.
Use my body, go up with he got hit on the wrist, so yeah. I like it.
That looked like Kawhi.
It did. I'll tell you what doesn't look like Kawhi is his free throw shooting. He is 0 for 3 tonight from the line.
Yeah. Gotta fix that. Ugh.
There you go.
Just real chunky. Real chunky free throws.
Very much so. Felicio Barber must be proud how much he did he charge him for that beard trim.
Marlon said Felicio looks like his barber remembered he left the lights on halfway through the shape-up.
Lakina says, OMG, it looks worse up close. It looks painted on. Yes, it does. Oh, man.
He got some of that, beard in a can from Boozer.
Oh, the classics. Man, that'll never get old. I think everybody was like, what? What is going on? Come on. Oh, nice step back.
Damn.
First shot. Hey, man, get Norville some shots. I'm liking how Norville playing. I really am. I ain't liking how Hutchinson playing, honestly. I'm just not liking it at all.
Not a fan.
Just not a fan of what I'm seeing because I still don't know what he can do. I still don't.
Rebound. Run. Get out on the break. Oh, his shin's hurt.
It's funny because it's true.
It's true.
Brandon says Felicio wearing blue and yellow shoes like he forgot what colors the Bulls jerseys are. Yeah. You guys got colors? Hutch about to get his minutes snatched. Yeah, that's
by Normal.
Thad Young, right? Thad Young taking his minutes.
Ryan said Felicio looks like the first 8th grader who has facial hair. It's so true.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I like that. I don't know what that is though. It's so I don't know. Like I don't know.
The placement of it just doesn't make any sense. Because instead of a beard, like this, it goes straight down.
It's so weird. Marlon says for Boozer's hair paint, it was the blackest black in the history of the color black. Boy, it was like
that makes me think of Farley describing the level of the blackness of his black belt to Chris Rock in Beverly Hills Ninja. Chris Rock, that's pretty black, man.
Only Chris Farley could make Beverly Hills Ninja watchable.
Dude, I watched that. I had that on VHS growing up. Obviously Tommy Boy is like the pinnacle. It's his best piece of work. I low-key love Beverly Hills Ninja.
It's another one of those Jim Carrey movies where it's not supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be good, but it is. Hey!
Oh,
Maybelline
We're
was
the greatest
good.
team on earth.
How you feeling, man? You all
I'm
right?
feeling over the moon.
Scott isn't balling anymore.
Wendell hit a 3.
That's the only thing he hit tonight.
It's not going to the point where I was like rooting for him to never hit one. And when he started out 0 for 3, I was like, "Oh, come on!" But
Dude, look at this. Houston has 3 points in the fourth quarter.
Look at Levine and White.
Also,
43 points.
Did you guys see that little promo for like the Bulls season preview show on NBC?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like coming back from commercial. It was one of those, bottom bars. It was a Bulls season preview show, and it was, Goff and Kendall and what's the name of that other guy? Will.
How's Will?
Here. He's coming back.
Doing good.
I missed you guys. I can't do this and watch the games, and I need to get better at that. So that's I'll just talk to you guys and be like, what happened? So I want to actually watch a little bit. my wife was watching Gossip Girl on her computer, and I was watching the Bulls. We had a good system.
Wait, is that her first time
watching
watching
Gossip
Girl?
obsessed.
I
Honestly,
love
Big Dave,
I love it.
It's not bad.
Dude, it's not bad at all, dog. I quite enjoyed it. Chuck Bass is my guy.
Yes.
Oh, Archie diving out of bounds. Yeah.
I feel like me and your wife about to have a whole breakdown of Gossip.
She's obsessed. And no joke, she'll be like, I get so nostalgic for high school. And I'm like, there was nothing about your high school experience that was like this. So what?
I need to go back.
Oh my
nice
God.
pass. Yo, Norville. I want Norville, dog. Did you see that pass? I want Norville. That was excellent.
He just saved what was a disgusting possession.
Watch it again. Watch this pass, man. Look at that.
Oh, Felicio. One of the best screeners in the league. Yeah.
That's a great pass.
Yes, it is, man.
Felicio looks like Mo Shroot.
Right. We were just talking about his beard.
It looks like he had. It looks like he really shaved the places that he can see. That does not.
He said he looked like Mo
That
Shroot.
doesn't look intentional.
The accuracy of that is out of control.
Oh my God.
Wow, dog. Hey, Matt. Not that Matt said Norville is the new Null. he's my Ryan Null. Norville's my Ryan Null.
Also, there's no silent K at the front of Ryan Null's name. It's just NALL.
I let that slide. I thought he was trying to doing something cute with Norville and put the K in there for a reason. So I let that slide. But he's right. I'm gonna be on Cameo getting Norville to say something about Hot Mick.
Hot Mick? John, Ryan said Felicio was in the Northmost battle in the Civil War.
Battle of Shroot Farms?
The Battle of Shroot Farms.
Oh my God. Yo, that's brilliant.
We gotta get rid of that guy. He can't be on the team.
You can't be a successful team with him on the roster.
You can't be like a promising team. Like,
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
The 95-96 Bulls, arguably the greatest team of all time, had a 40-year-old James Edwards
good at
on
one
the
point.
roster.
Okay,
So,
James Edwards is a two-time champion and was a former starting center for the Detroit Pistons. Like, he was good. He was good, Matt. Like,
I'm just saying, he wasn't a useful piece of the roster when the Bulls were a title
we didn't
team.
need it. And did you hear the year you said? That was the year we won 72 games. We didn't need him, dog. He was just out of respect. And he would come in and kill minutes. Like, that's all he did, would come in and commit a couple fouls. But it's the point that he was actually an NBA player that was functional.
What do you call what's Felicio's doing right now? I believe that's called coming in and killing minutes.
Not for $8 million? No. No. I'm sure James Edwards ain't cost G14 classified.
That's G14 classified.
Look at
He boxed out. Oh, yeah, Archie in transition.
Norval. Come on, Norval. Who's number 11? I'm not familiar with him either. I don't know this guy. Lakina, where you at? I need to know number 11.
It's not Vonleh because Vonleh's out tonight.
And he's Bobby Portis, so I know it ain't him.
Yeah, he wears number 5.
Hey, Felicio, rebound. Archie's played this whole second half.
That's that dude, Simi Shitu.
Okay.
Simi Shitu. He's been playing on Windy City for like the last year. And they re-signed him to Windy City like a couple days ago.
Ooh. Pat Williams. So, John, man, what have you enjoyed? What have you taken away from this game? What have you actually liked?
I've liked our team defense.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to do a work email while I'm doing this. So give me 2 seconds. I'm listening.
It's 2 minutes left in the fourth.
I've never gotten an email on a Sunday night before.
Oh!
Will!
Patrick!
Get it, young son.
I'm feeling that. I'm liking this young. Oh, he traveled. Like they ain't call that.
Oh my God,
Felicio.
Guys, I believe that's a Felicio assist. Put it in the box score.
Felicio walked a mile. Like, how did he get that? My gosh, man.
Felicio, 6 minutes, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 point.
Splash. Don't disparage the most tenured player on our team, says
True. That might be the most sad fact in the universe.
True,
is that Felicio is the longest tenured Bull right now.
Marlon says, can we give Pat all of Hutch's minutes? Yeah. I have no problem with that.
I just have you guys seen how much shit Chandler Hutchison has been talking on Twitter, like leading up to this season? He's like, oh, you're about to see like whole other level, like brand new Hutch. Great, you guys aren't gonna believe this amazing season. I was like, all right, dude, well, like, how about we start with you not being a basketball player whose shins get sore? Let's start there. Let's maybe teach you how to make a jump shot. And then you can start talking a big game on fucking Twitter.
I was like, I tell you, it's gonna be great.
Listen, man, he's been talking up such a huge game on his Twitter account. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Yo, man.
It was like, what was it? I think it was like Mississippi State, and then I can't remember the other team. But did you see that highlight from that college football game this weekend where a corner was just like John at a receiver across from him, like while they were getting ready for a play, and then QB hikes the ball, dude just runs a burn route, torches this corner for a touchdown. That's Hutch talking trash on Twitter.
Dude, man, there you go. Normal. Dude,
it's like, yeah, throw it my way. I dare you. Oh, touchdown.
Dude, guys, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. You won't.
Oh, look at that Euro.
Oh. Hey man, right now, yeah, Normal is my Ryan Dahl. You better believe it. He's Ryan Dahl of me right now.
Not that Matt said Pat Will's first step is for real. Yeah,
it is. Agreed. It's impressive, man.
We have an answer as far as the Felicio being out there. Luke Cornett has an excused absence per Bulls PR.
So that's Luke and Seto with the excuse.
He had a conflict?
And Devin Dotson, who we did see for a while on Friday night.
You're right.
So I don't know what all these excused absences
What's up with all that? That's all right.
I mean, like, I'm hoping beyond hope that it's not like several people testing positive.
Hey, Felicio block. But it was a fact.
Look at that.
But it was a fact. Look at it. Look at it up close. You know what makes it even worse? It's because it's bushy and up to here underneath. Like it's like up to here, like underneath. Like it's on purpose. Like it's so bad. That's so bad. You know, he looks like he should be an extra in Star Wars. Like you would just put him in Star Wars with that beard. just for that look right there. He'd be like Jabba the Hutt's friend. That's it. Oh my goodness, man.
Brandon said Cornette and Sato are filming their buddy cop movie. Oh my God, could you imagine? The other guys too, with Luke Cornette and Tomas Sadaransky.
So guys, where we going?
Josh said she too showed me one more move than Hutch has in the last 3 years I've watched.
Hey, Noble got fouled. Give it back. There you go. See, that would have got you in the league. I would have been championing for you to be in the league right there. Oh, it's good to get this victory. It's just good to get it off your back. Yeah,
feels
man,
good
nice to get it off your back.
First Bulls W since March 10th.
That's a while, sir. That's a long while.
Which, honestly may have still been the case were it not for COVID, because that Bulls schedule to finish the season, they finished 22-43. They could have still finished with 22 wins.
Agreed. That's going to do it.
Yeah.
Bulls take this one. 13-point victory, 104-91. The Chicago Bulls with the victory. I like it.
Love
man.
it.
I enjoy that stuff. I like how they came out from the tip. Okay, we talked about it when they on that opening defensive possession, how they all looked engaged. Like they just didn't look passive. They looked like they did last game. They looked engaged, like they were trying out there. And they started from the opening tip, and I appreciated that.
Brandon said Felicio plays, we win by 13. He doesn't play, we lose by 30. Guess we gotta play Felicio, you guys.
Yeah.
Marlins, we finally washed off the boiling stank.
Zach LaVine and Kobe are good.
That's like, you got to take a bath in tomato soup or whatever to get rid of the skunk smell when your dog gets skunked. That's the level of boiling stank.
That's some stank. That's some stiz ain't. It's stiz ain't. No, I plead the fizziest.
Dude, 23 from Zach, who got out of the gate early, got the Bulls on the right track. Kobe finished with 20 points, had some really beautiful dimes tonight. John, are you feeling a little bit better?
Of course I'm feeling better because people played good basketball. I'm still worried about our forwards, though. I think we need one of Lowry or Wendell to be something, right?
Yeah, correct.
And
yes, and tonight
nothing's again. Like they totally if Kobe White is like, I got this. Patrick Williams looks more comfortable out there.
That's a great point.
He looks comfortable, and so
but if it's any. I'm sorry, please.
No. That's I'm just worried about these guys who we thought were good. I'm skeptical.
Yeah,
but I like Kobe and Zach.
You're right. You're right to be. I think the one I'm more concerned with is Wendell than I am with Lowry. Because Lowry, when I watched him and the shots he took, I thought they were all good shots, and he just missed them. They were wide open threes, and he missed them. There were layups, and he missed them. When he was in the post, he was making the move I wanted him to make, and he just was missing the shot, which is fine, and I can accept that in the preseason, which is why I didn't freak out. But Wendell Carter Jr. just doesn't look like a legitimate NBA player right now, and that's more concerning to me than what Lowry is doing.
He still has terrible hands. There were 3 gimmies.
Yeah.
They're going to stop passing to him.
Yes.
His hands are so bad.
Teams, and they've been bad for a while because you've been talking about he needs LASIK.
I think it's the eyes, man.
And teams are going to key on that. They're going to see that, and it's going to become a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be this way this deep into his career, because, again, this is why I like this season so much, John, because all those excuses are removed. All that stuff is gone. All the injuries, all the coaching, all the trainer, front office, everybody holding, all that's out of here. So guys like him, guys like Lowry, Otto Porter Jr., Kobe White, all those guys it's on them. Like, it's now on the basketball because you have everything you're supposed to have to be a better team and a better basketball player. And so if you can't perform, then we know what it is. We know what it is.
And I will say this. When they were in the third quarter, we had some team defense that and this is why I think Chris, like, I'm a big believer that individual defense really doesn't matter in winning games. I'd much rather have 5 below average individual defenders who play team defense as a unit than like people who play straight up man to man. Like,
then like 4 who are average and one.
It's just individual defense, I think, doesn't affect the game as much as team defense does. Like, and I'm cool with losing someone whose fastball is one man to man defense if it means playing more like a team. And with Chris Dunn, he was like a special teams player, like he was a mercenary out there, you know. And the rotations looked good. Otto Porter Jr. was hustling.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like Otto Porter Jr. liked playing basketball.
Dude, that's what Will said when he hopped on with us for a while in the third quarter. He's like, dude, Otto's just got this devilish grin on his face.
Yeah. He usually loves, like, just being rich.
Yeah. Passing out bowls of champagne at parties.
He loves it, but if Kobe and Zach are guys, let's do it. Like, that's firepower.
And to your point on Otto Porter Jr., John, because I was saying this to Matt and Will, it's my only issue is consistency. Like, we know how good he can be, and we know what he provides for the team, but he's not consistent in it, and he hasn't been consistent in it since he's been here. Whether it's been injury or whether it's just been him. Like, he just hasn't been consistent about it. He'll do it for a few games and then, he'll go chill. And like you said, he'll start playing like basketball is his 5th favorite thing. So I just want the consistency. I want it to be game after game after game after game. I can rely on you because he's vitally important. And we keep seeing how important he is to this team.
He's vital information for your everyday life. Laura Beth Denberg.
Laura Beth Denberg reference. God damn. That's unbelievable.
Dude, all that?
Yeah, but like in all that reference, but a Laura Beth Denberg one. Like you're not. I mean, anyone can do the Kells, the Byneses, hell, the Josh Shevers, but the Laura Beth Dens, the Keenans.
She carried certain elements of that show. Cass said, Matt, are you related to Colonel Sanders? The goatee says you are. Yes, but not the real one. The professor from the movie The Waterboy. That's the Colonel Sanders that I'm related to. He's my great uncle.
Something wrong with your medulla oblongata.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
Mama's right.
I still don't know who our guys are though. Like what our starting lineup is. I know who's in the mix, and I'm like, but I don't know who's like I don't know if Lowry's a starter. Like, should we start Pat Williams and have him come off the bench, and then he can feast on use his height against second units? Like, so that's what I think. That I still don't have a sense. So I watched the Mavs last night, and I know exactly who's starting, who's the bench. Like, I'm like, Burke and Brunson are going to play together all the time. Like, I have a good sense of like, oh, this is how it's going to be. Like, and I don't have that yet. Maybe we have to experiment because it's less proven commodities.
Yeah. And that's what
spot on that.
That's what Kaz just said to me. He said, Dave, you're going to have a tough time selling me on Lowry missing open layups being a good thing. Like, no, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying I'm not as concerned about it because it's a preseason. I like the move that he made to get to the bucket to take the layup, but I'm not as worried about it because it's a preseason game. So that's something I'm saying you can fix and correct as you go on in these last 2 games. But if he's doing that in the regular season, then yeah, it's trash, period.
Like, again, I know, John, you might think it's like such a low floor, such a low bar rather. But even just things like seeing Lowry put the ball on the floor and attack, we didn't see that like at all last season. At least he tried tonight to be aggressive.
Yeah,
and he got the chair pulled out from under him when he was trying to back down on one of those post ups, and that's laughable. But again, at least it happened to him because he was trying to get inside. Like there's so many ways in which Lowry was broken last year, and he's not going to be fixed overnight. So yeah, I don't like the game that we saw from Lowry tonight. He stunk, but it's like washing off the boiling stink. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, Lowry, 3 points, 7 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. Like you said, man, 1 for 10 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. He was negative 12 in the plus minus. So yeah, not good. Not that Matt says Mavs are better and have it figured out. Noted.
Mishka said, if Lowry isn't a starter that can contribute and has to come off the bench, we're in massive trouble. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say massive trouble. At least it would be an answer. But that's why, to me, this stuff that we've heard about Lowry and his agent and the Bulls actually working on an extension before this December 21st deadline has me a little nervous. Because, unless Lowry's willing to take a significant "you're not a star yet" extension, I can't imagine that the new front office is excited to pay this guy the way he looked last season and the way he looks now, somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million annually on a multi-year deal.
Correct. I completely agree. C-Dub says, I hear a bunch of Lowry excuses. That's right. Preseason game 2. You're going to be all right. You're going to relax. So
I think he's not that great of a shooter, but that doesn't mean he's not a good scorer. And I think because his rookie year he was a good shooter, and he really hasn't shown that since. And he's a tall European, so we just assume they can shoot. I think there's a little bias there. I just want him to drive. Just drive and get fouled. Just drive and get fouled. It's like just be an attacker. You're athletic.
Yeah. I think. Well, somebody else was, in our comments tonight was saying that they didn't see Lowry as a shooter. I still do. I still think his stroke is pure, and he can be a guy who, 38-40% from downtown when he's playing his best. We've only seen him shoot a little over 36% in his first few seasons, but the thing that you said, John, is I think a bigger concern to me is that he's just not. Like, he shies away from a lot of contact, and he shies away from the big boy work of being an NBA big.
And I don't blame him. I just don't blame him. And he doesn't need to be be what Giannis was. Giannis wasn't a post player. Everything was a drive, Granted, he doesn't have 8 feet arms, so it's different. But I do think in terms of a 7-footer who can dribble and ball handle and drive, he's in the top, 3% of guys his height? And so the post stuff will come. I think just he has to figure out how he can contribute, and then worry about the rest later, as opposed to fitting into a system. And right now he just doesn't contribute.
C-Dub says Lowry doesn't want to prove himself. He wants a little contract and he'll be happy. I don't think so.
What do you think what's his extension going to be like?
If he keeps playing it won't be huge. And that's probably the hang up right now. Of course, your agent's trying to, get you money based on potential and what you can be and things like that. But he's got to prove it. This is just such a prove it year for him and so many other players on the team. But especially for him, because he's one of the main ones in the contract year. So he's got to prove that he's worth this kind of money that I'm sure his agent wants for him. He's got to prove that he can be a close to 40% shooter from 3. He a guy you could depend on to get you 20 points and 10 rebounds. He's got to prove this stuff. Seriously. We've seen the flashes and all those other things that he has, but it's got to show and prove this year. That's it. It's no more waiting around. All the excuses are removed from him.
Yeah.
It's no more waiting around. It has to be this year.
Right. That's exactly how I feel, Dave. and I know that plenty of Bulls fans are ready to give up on him. I'm not ashamed to say that I have been a Lowry defender because I believe in what I've seen from him. But like you just said, if this isn't the year where he proves what he can be with a better coach and more people actually working to get his game to the next level, then I will be sore about being wrong about him. But I'm not throwing that towel in because of 2 preseason games.
No, true. And again, and yes, and I still, it's also what he did last year. Like the first game of the season, he was awesome,
Yeah.
and then disappeared. And like, we need him to be like Nico, right? Like that's what we need at this point.
Oh,
No, I mean,
I hope not.
I would say if that's his ceiling, then I certainly would be greatly disappointed.
Yeah, I'm trading him immediately. If his ceiling is Nico,
sorry, I may have phrased that wrong. I agree with you guys. He's not even as good as Nico right now, right?
Oh, that hurts.
Nico contributed more. I'm asking the question.
I won't agree with that. Strongly because Nico would not do any of what I've seen Lowry do. And when Nico would contribute, it was when the season was over. That's exactly when Nico would show up, when the season
Nico
was
would
done.
Still like in the
Thanks for that 7-game winning streak, Nico.
Right. Or when he gets punched in the face.
I'm really glad that we have Wendell instead of Luka.
Yes. Salim says he's not. C-Dub says you're right. So,
and again, I'm saying in terms of like Nico would still have those games where he would go off for 20 out of nowhere in the third quarter, and you'd be like, "What?" And that could be how he was used on the system. Like he was allowed to just pop in and be instant offense, But he would still have those games where he would be the second or leading scorer, and it would be fairly regular. And I feel like
it would be. That's what I mean. It would be in games where the season was done. But
Lowry's not even scoring baskets. But Lowry's not scoring. At least he would score baskets.
Yep. You're right.
I mean, the 7 rebounds is nice, but
you need 20.
I mean, he's tall, man. He's a tall man.
I mean,
yeah.
Salim said Nico is a better passer and defender. Am I forgetting the part where Nico could guard anybody worth a shit? What? C-Dub said Nico made bigger plays. What? What plays? Other than a 7-game winning streak when the Bulls were trying to tank, Nico never made a big play in his freaking Bulls career. Dude shriveled up in the playoffs.
He did. He disappeared. And
what are you talking about, C-Dub?
Come on, man. He does. Team defense is a thing, guys. Is what he said. We understand. But yeah. But now I don't think it's a insane thing that John is saying, honestly. But it just hurts that can even be compared because he has a point. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a point in what he's saying, and that's what's frustrating.
I think Lowry's better. Ooh.
Welcome back to the party, Mr. Purdue in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Sabine looks a little more comfortable this evening.
Oh, and how was your TED Talk? Was it good?
I didn't hear you. What did he say?
I said, "How was your TED? How's your TED Talk? Was it good? That's a great outfit."
I gotta do the what's the skit from Saturday Night Live?
Rockets.
Oh, Mike Sprockets. No. Yes.
You're doing Ninth Roxbury, but I think that's more of a Sprockets.
Me, me. No, you.
Perfect. Hey, Will, this is perfect. I'm going to tag out real quick and handle something for work, and then I'll tag back in.
All right, just be honest, man. Your wife is standing right behind the computer, yelling at you.
Do you know how many times she tried to get me to jump on earlier tonight? She's like, "Leave me alone. Go." So I'll be right back. I got to handle something. Sorry.
I'll see what it is. John actually wants to be hanging out with his wife, and she's the one who's like, "No, go hang out with your boys."
I like her more than she likes me.
Well, I've met Karen, and that makes sense. All right, Will. So the Bulls get a preseason W, but it's still a W. Dave and I were talking about, even though it's a preseason game and it doesn't, mean anything, hearing Donovan being brutal.
Hold on. Let me back up. I think for this team, I think it does mean something.
That's what I was about to say, because I mean, Donovan tore him a new one after that poor effort and poor performance on Friday. To get a bounce back like this and actually have it wrapped up as a W, I think means something.
Yeah, I agree with you. And more so, not so much about the win per se, because it's preseason, but just to kind of have some positive momentum now, because what's the most important thing to me, I think? They don't play again until Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
So, I imagine they'll come in, watch a lot more film, probably won't spend much time on the – well, probably will because, I think he's done a pretty good job of spreading out the minutes. Nobody's played a lot of – now, Kobe played a lot more than I thought he would in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there was a reason for that because I thought he needed to. So, I was about to say, well, they'll probably have Monday off, but considering where this team is, they'll probably get a good practice in Monday, Tuesday, and be ready to go Wednesday. So now we ask ourselves, what do we want to see between now and Wednesday?
I don't know, but it has to do with that front court because Lowry and Wendell were awful tonight.
Yeah. Seriously.
Hey, but Wendell didn't hit a three.
Yay!
Hooray!
Steve made a point. I mean, Stacey made a point. Maybe they should start putting him down on the corner instead of at the top of the key if he's going to shoot those threes.
I agree. He looked much more comfortable shooting from the corner.
The best when Lowry and Wendell looked the best is when they were running the screen roll together.
Yes.
Surprised we only saw that one time the whole night.
Yes.
Now, did I miss something? Did we only see it the one time?
Yeah, no, you're right. We had people in our comments tonight saying, let's get more of that going.
Yeah.
So, I think they'll go back and they'll see that, and maybe they will try that a little more. And, I did notice something, though. Remember when there was the turnover and Nwaba was out on the fast break and Lowry took off to chase him down and then backed off and allowed the dunk?
Mm-hmm.
Lowry his gait looks funny as far as how he was running. Like even when he was like running the fast break the other way, he wasn't like beating anybody down the floor.
Yeah.
So, so I was curious. It almost looked like he had a shortened gait as far as how he was running. So it was a little interesting. I wasn't seeing when a guy sprints, he really pushes off. He gets his knees up high. He looked like an old man kind of shuffling. So I'm curious if, he had something lingering going into this game. But what I didn't see is what I didn't like was that knee on knee with Nwaba. Because to me, it looked like he might have hyperextended that a little bit.
I mean,
don't say that, Will.
That's the last thing Lowry needs. Like,
seriously,
the injuries that he dealt with last year were just so frustrating. And I think that it was frustrating for the fan base too, because for so long we didn't really understand what was going on with Lowry because the injury wasn't explained to us in a way that made sense. And it was like a hip flexor or like an oblique thing. And then clearly he looked last season like a player who was shying away from contact. Not only, like you said, Will, like he just doesn't look like he's got speed and his gait's messed up, but also a guy shying away from contact. And we kind of he was aggressive at times tonight. He put the ball on the floor. He tried to drive. He tried to post up. But he still just looks like a player who doesn't like contact.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing was Stacey goes, now that's the Lowry market we're used to seeing. Putting it on the deck, attacking the rim. And I'm not sure he did it after that. He was kind of – he was in the mid-range area. He was putting himself in a position to, catch and shoot. And I think he can, in my opinion, I think he can go by anybody at any time, especially guys his size. Mm-hmm. And I'm just at some point, I think Billy's going to have to put Lowry in a position to where it's like, dude, this is up to you now, okay? I'm no longer going to protect you. I'm no longer going to, make up excuses for you. If you don't start producing, this is going to be on you. Kind of like, what Silas was doing when they were asking him about Harden, and he's like, well, that's a question for him. At some point, you got to, and that was the thing that I like about how you said that we were always kind of like left in the dark about what's really going on with Lowry. We can't get an honest answer. And, one of the things I've learned in this business is when you try too hard to control the narrative, it just makes things worse. And eventually the truth comes out. And when the truth comes out, then you look really bad. Because then people were like, well, now we know you were trying to hide something. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, I expected to see more out of these first two games. But again, the thing that is so frustrating, and I think you guys would agree with this, he still shows us glimpses of that's the Lowry we know. You're like, yeah. And then where'd he go? What happened?
And I think the further we go along through this game with Lowry, the glimpses, and like someone like myself who's a believer in a defender in the on Lowry Island, the glimpses at a certain point are only that. They're only glimpses. And every player who is talented enough to make it to the NBA has glimpses. But when you're talking about a guy who was the 7th overall pick and then, he made all first rookie team in the NBA, like we don't even remember that version of Lowry anymore. It's just the glimpses, and I think that's the really frustrating part.
It is, and what is this? Josh here? It's just talks about it's his contract year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that they're even talking about upping his deal without just let somebody else set the market, right?
Right.
Isn't that what they did with Zach? And
we
knew what Zach was, right? I was a little surprised, and I think that I think it was smart because the market was a little less than maybe we anticipated. And luckily, Sacramento jumped in early. I think I underpaid them. And the Bulls were, they had no choice. I mean, not like they didn't want to, but like, hey, $20 million a year, bingo. We actually got ourselves a deal.
Although I think with Zach, you have to also remember a 20, 25 game sample size of a player coming off a torn ACL. That's the player that Sacramento signed that offer sheet to. And I think that that's certainly a Bulls team that was at the beginning of a rebuild, tanking, and Zach only played a handful of games coming off an injury that serious. Made sense that was only the offer that he got, and it made sense that the Bulls said, go get an offer sheet and we'll match it. And that worked out for the Bulls when you talk about his production versus his paycheck. With Lowry, that's not really the case. It's just like, you need to show us something if we're going to offer you this extension, which is why we were saying before you hopped on, Will, Dave and I are kind of like bewildered that we're hearing that they might actually come to an agreement on an extension, that like AK wants to get an extension done before the 21st deadline. And we're sitting here saying, like, based off of what?
Yeah, but you also listen, this could be, what's the best way to put it?
Assets.
No. This could be smoke and mirrors. It's like it could be a situation where they're like, well, we made an offer. Him and his agent turned it down, so we're just going to go and who knows what the offer is, right? It could be just a basement type offer where you're like, oh, no way. We're not signing that. But then the Bulls on their end are like, hey, we made an offer. We want you. We made an offer. You chose not to accept it. So now we're going to wait, see what kind of offer you get, and then go from there. And that's the interesting thing. I understand there. He says we've been talking, and he's going to let his agent handle it. He wants to play here. But what's the one thing that we've always wanted to know about Lowry? Does he really love basketball? Does he love it? or does he just enjoy playing it and enjoys the benefits that come with it? And that's what, because you guys know, just like I know, he's shown enough that even if the Bulls say we're going to let you get an offer, somebody will make him an offer that'll leave you scratching your head. Because there's a coach out there, there's a general manager out there that's like, listen, let me get my hands on that guy. Let me with him. I'll be able to, get the best out of him. And whether they do or not, it's hard to say. But we've all known guys that have stuck in the league, gotten contract after contract after contract, and then when you look at their numbers, they've had a decent career, but their career doesn't match their career. The production in their career doesn't match their career earnings.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And I saw someone in the comments saying maybe more damage was done to him under Boylan than we actually know. And I mean, I can't use that. You can't use that excuse anymore. Honestly, like it doesn't work. It doesn't stick. It doesn't land anymore. Everything is on him. Everything has to be on him this season. So he's got to produce. I mean, that's the bottom line of what everybody is saying. He's got to produce because we see how tall he is and we see the skill that he has. So for him to come out and even in a preseason game, just going 1 for 10, again, like I said, the fact he was taking good shots, I'm not even mad at that he was missing the shots. I thought they were good shots that he was taking, but I understand the frustration that everybody has about it because of what you want out of this guy, because of what you want to invest into this dude, because of the talent that you kind of see from him. But everything's on him this year. But Will, let me ask you though, what point of this year do you sit and you say, okay, Laurie, you ain't got it? Like, is there a time frame for you of when you can accurately judge when Lauri Markkanen has it or not?
I'd say the first 20 games. Because as we talked about, as difficult as the schedule is, and I'm looking it up, you couldn't be better set for somebody to want to prove themselves. Because this is, on the surface, we're always talking about the team goals, right? What the team wants to do, what the team needs to do, how we need to come together as a team. But personally, you're also thinking about, what do I need to do? What's my intention? What am I trying to accomplish? And that's always to play really well. When we're talking about a guy that needs to prove something to us, Atlanta. Who's he going to be paired up against in Atlanta?
Gallinari, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's who he's supposed to be, right?
Who's going to be paired up against in the Pacers?
Sabonis.
Is it Turner? Sabonis.
Either or.
Sabonis.
Then you got Washington, but then you got the Knicks. Oh, that's February, sorry. But then, so he's going to have to go up against the players early on. You got Dallas. You got Portland. You got Sacramento. You got Milwaukee. You got the Lakers. You got Clippers. You got Boston. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, where's a game where you sit here and, okay, maybe the 2 games against Washington, and here's another thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know if you guys watched Golden State play the other night. That's the 3rd game of the year. And here is Lowry a much more talented player than Looney?
Oh, man, that's a sad thought.
I mean, that's
no. Listen to what I'm saying.
Looney's
the answer is yes.
Looney's the center, though.
But do you question Looney's efforts at any time? Do you think that he'll just
never?
I mean, listen, he's not going to put the ball on the deck and challenge Lowry defensively, but he won't hesitate to physically just beat the crap out of him, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, in the 3rd quarter, you see him just kind of floating around on the perimeter. But my point is that Lowry should look at this whole situation, right, and be like, hey guys, I mean, somebody's got to be honest with him. Is it his agent? Who's his group that's around him? They'd be like, dude, man, I hope you understand what's going on here.
I just, man, like the thing about that with Lowry is we just got rid of a coach who talked only in terms of spirit and grit and want to, and you gotta really wear bulls across the chest and all that stuff. I haven't said his name, Dave. Don't worry.
I'm just prepared. Just know I'm prepared, man. I'm just know I'm ready.
We're all talking about the issue with Lowry maybe being like, I don't actually love playing basketball that much. I don't have that drive. I don't want to win that badly. I don't want to be the best player on the court every night. And so it's like, is there a disconnect there of if the previous coach did that and only that and couldn't get that out of Lowry, who will get that out of Lowry?
Well,
but it was coming from a bad messenger. It was like a televangelist who lives in a mansion telling you to give money. Like it matters. The narrator matters, and hopefully Billy Don, like leadership is actions, not words. So if anything, that could have turned him off from trying hard or all that bullshit, because he could have seen it as buzzwords and empty promises. Maybe he doesn't believe that because it was beaten over his head by a terrible narrator.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but
Yeah.
Again,
have we? I know you guys are monitoring your phones. Have we heard anything about what happened with Lowry? I mean, we saw it knee on knee.
Yeah. So we just got a tweet from Rob Schaefer, our pal over at NBC Sports Chicago, quoting Lowry, who said it was just a banged knee with Nuaba, and he said no lingering effects. So, hopefully good
but
news
here's
there.
something that I think that we need to think about. Because of last year, and I mean, listen, this is all perception because we're not allowed to go to the United Center. I can't sneak underneath and watch him walk back to the locker room, and I can't go into the locker room and check out his body language and everything and see what's going on as far as him talking or making comments. But I think because of what happened last year, do I think he played through injury? Absolutely. Do I think that affected him mentally? Absolutely. But I also think now he's in a stage right now where anytime there's any type of pain, I think in the back of his mind, he's like, oh, here we go again. And I think it because, if he's just saying knee on knee, that's what it looked like. But I also kind of, when they showed it in slow motion, it looked like it was a little bit of a hyperextension where it kind of got extended backwards and locked a little bit. So, he goes home and he ices it and he's like, hey, it feels pretty good. But he gets up in the morning, he's like, oh my God, I can't move it. Oh, MRI, X-ray. And I don't mean to be making fun of him, but I think he's got to get.
No, I'm picturing a 30-something-year-old Will Perdue sitting on the bench in San Antonio with big ice packs on his knees.
But I think
for real.
Got to get past that where, he wakes up tomorrow and he's like, hey, it's okay. All right, let's get back to practice and let's get going. Right. But I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but when the game first started, after player intros, who did Billy Donovan talk to? Other guys, they went by and they're like, and literally it's almost like when Lowry went by, he kind of walked with him and was talking to him. And Lowry was shaking his head. I think that even Billy Donovan sees the importance of trying to get this guy going, trying to figure out where his head's at.
Yeah.
Where he is physically, where he is mentally.
Yeah.
And I know some people that are going to be like, oh, man, come on, it's only the second preseason game. But I think one of the things we talked about was, okay, we can't blame this on Gar and Pax. They're not here. Can't blame this on the coaching staff. They're not here. I mean, this is on the players now. If you want to – what did we always talk about? And we talked about this on Friday. What did we talk about? I mean, it's just the lack of development, the lack of growth. We actually thought we saw maybe some players go backwards instead of forwards. But I think some of that had to do with just, because of the coach and the situation, just kind of mentally checked out, right? But
yeah. I mean, I think like that the thing you mentioned about Lowry and the mental hurdle being just as problematic as the injury itself physically, and whether or not you have confidence that you are physically fine. I think that's a very sore and not too distant memory for Bulls fans when you think about the post ACL versions of Derrick Rose, when he was healthy enough to be out there playing, but he wasn't the same explosive player. He wasn't the same fearless player. And Derrick Rose has talked in recent years about how he's had to adjust his game to survive in the NBA and keep his career going. And that fearlessness that he played with early on that made him so good also was very dangerous. But just the fact that Bulls fans saw Derrick Rose look like a player who was afraid of getting hurt again or afraid of not being 100% healthy because of an injury that's lingering in the back of their mind. And so I think if that's a problem with Lowry right now, that's maybe a bigger problem than fans are willing to.
C-Dub here says that Billy said in an interview that it's up to Lowry. He put it out there.
I do think this is an easy fix. You just can't play Wendell and Lowry together. You just can't. Like, one of them needs to go to the bench. Dirk's best season is when he had a rim protector, big enforcer who could get lobs. Tyson Chandler. That was his best year.
Gafford.
Like, you have a guy like that.
One thing I will say is if I walked away with anything today as far as from a positive standpoint, late game situations, you need Gafford in there to protect the rim.
You do.
And I could seriously see where if they're in a dogfight with somebody late in the game, I think you could constantly see the offensive-defensive substitution. Where, if you take Gafford out on the offensive end of the floor, you just tell them to stand at the scorer's table because as soon as there's a dead ball or I call timeout, you're going back in because we need you to protect the rim. I mean, he had 2 man blocks tonight. I mean,
yes, he did.
You mentioned something bad about fearless. He's gonna get dunked on. All bigs do, but that doesn't deter him whatsoever. And the one thing I really like about him is he's selective when he goes to block shots, but his timing is good. And if you want to say there's one guy on that defense that rotates properly or early enough, it's him. A lot of those other guys have a tendency to be a step late or rotate late because it's almost like and I get it, they're learning a new system as they're kind of, you're eyeing your man in the ball. All of a sudden you turn just ahead and you go, okay, rotate. Oh, that's me. And by that time it's too late, right? So I'm willing to give him some time, but I know it's a small sample size, but I think we're seeing some traits start to come out that we really need to focus on, and to me that's one of them.
Will, I think it's easier for guys to play with Gafford because you already kind of figure out his game on the offensive end, which is once you hit that pick and roll and he cuts to the basket, it's alley-oop season every day, all day. And we saw that earlier with Kobe White when he did it. Like, it just makes his game simple for guys. You don't have to really think about, oh man, is this guy going to be a pick and pop? Is he going to be a pick and? You don't have to think about that. Soon as you get that pick and roll, he's going to the bucket, toss it up
now,
there.
Here's something for you guys though.
It's one-dimensional and it's basketball 101, but it's effective.
Here's where you guys are going to laugh, all right? But this is where Valentine comes into play because you put him in that opposite corner. His man has to make a decision, right? If they know that Gafford's rolling and he sees any light whatsoever, he has to commit. That's his job. He's the backside help if you put Valentine on the opposite baseline, right? Because if he doesn't, you're giving up an easy 2. And Billy, in my opinion, will be smart enough. He'll just keep running the same play. Kobe comes off that, can lob it up. Lowry comes off that, could lob it up. Sato can lob it up. But then if that guy helps whatsoever, you can pass it down. And what you could do is you could put Kobe in that corner, and then you could put Sato running it or put Sato in the corner. But then you got to put a really good three-point shooter down in that corner. Now, the only thing that you'll see some teams do, if you put your small down in that corner, then they won't rotate that guy because they know that guy will be insignificant because there's nothing he can do if you throw it up at the rim. You're going to have a point guard running over trying to help. What's he going to do? Nothing, right? That's why you got to go with the bigger guy that can knock down that 3 to stand in the corner whose man, because he's big enough, has to rotate. They'll give it up the first time, right?
Yeah.
But the second time down, that coach will be yelling at that guy. Or let me put it this way. If that backside guy wants to stay in the game, he'll rotate the next time, even to the point where he might pre-rotate and leave that guy in the corner wide open, because when the baseline guy rotates, right, that means the wing has to guard two guys. He has to guard his man on the wing and the other guy on the baseline. And that's where you could even immediately pass it out to Denzel, or you could pass it out to somebody else, Thad, who's proven that he can knock down that shot. And those guys are smart enough where they can catch and then boom, right out to the wing where possibly Zach's standing, because Zach's guy went down to go for the help. And that's where now you talk about basketball IQ comes into play. You can't just put anybody in that corner. You got to pick somebody that's going to make the right play.
We could stuff Chris Dunn in that corner, right? He's really confident in launching those threes. No, but I think you make a really good point, Will. And conversely, when you think about the game that Wendell had tonight, 3 of 11, and the few opportunities where Wendell did look to get the ball around the basket, there were a couple of pick and rolls where he was the roll man. He had a lot. And he can't even cleanly handle a pass. Dave, do you remember the one play where it was a nice transition and it was 2 quick passes in succession? Levine was flying out of bounds and dished it off to Wendell. Yep. And you were like, ain't no way in hell Wendell's ready for that pass, because he's never ready for that pass.
Ever.
He was shocked.
Ever.
He was shocked.
And I'm like, and I was telling him, I was like, how is he shocked when I knew it was coming? And I'm not even on the floor. I knew the pass was coming.
He's standing behind the basket. What does he expect?
Dude, right. You're big and you're behind the basket. Yes, you're going to get the basketball. And it bothers me just how unprepared he looks when he's out there on the offensive end, and just how it just doesn't make sense to him. And Billy Donovan just spoke and reaffirmed his belief in Wendell Carter Jr. and his belief in his talent, which is awesome. But
he's gonna say that.
It's hard,
though, Dave. You know
it's
that
hard.
because
your
players
that's
are
what I
going to
said.
see that.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
Wendell's going to go home and he's going to see that. And he's like, "Yep, coach still believes in me. I'm okay." But we don't know what's we don't know what's being said behind closed doors. But so I wrote this down. Well, this is something I think personally they need to experiment with. All right, this is a lineup. I think Kobe, Zach, Sato, P. Will. And then take your pick at the 5. You could go Gafford. You could go Wendell Carter Jr. You could go Lowry. Take your pick. And that.
What's the benefit of that lineup?
Well, this is why I would put Gafford over Lowry and Wendell Carter Jr. Because with those 4 guys in there, you have to guard every single one of those guys out to the 3-point line. So now Gafford's just running around like a madman. And the other thing with Gafford is he doesn't post up right now, so he doesn't clog up the paint. So guy can get by his initial line of defense. There's no help.
And guess you're wide open if there's a lob threat, and Wendell's not a lob threat.
Wendell is a lob threat, but he's
compared to Gafford.
I'm not saying he's a better lob threat, but I'm saying they threw a lob to Wendell today, but that was.
But he's not.
But my point is that because Wendell's trying to work on different things, he finds himself in no man's land. And when I mean no man's land, I mean he hesitates just enough that the play breaks down. Because Dave, you talked about he's sitting there going, do I roll? Do I pick and pop? What do I do? With Gafford, what he's doing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Exactly.
So there's no hesitation whatsoever. Right. He rolls even if the guy's waiting for him because that's just what he does. But that's the thing now with this other lineup. If somebody pre-rotates, there's going to be an open man on the perimeter. And at times, we saw great ball movement from one side of the floor to the next. Tex Winter used to always use this term ping pass. I mean, the ball touches your hands and ping, it's gone. We saw that a couple times tonight. So they have that ability. But, as we talked John off the ledge on Friday, the one thing we asked is we need to see improvement. We saw improvement. So we're okay. We're not great. We're not jumping up and down. We're not feeling like, hey, things are coming together. We're like, we saw improvement. Okay. We still see all those weaknesses on defense that we saw last year. And that tells you that defensive rating was a smokescreen. As far as, well, they're the 10th best defense. Well, that was because it was all.
Yeah, they generated a quadrillion turnovers, but it didn't matter.
But that's where
game.
You come down to the thing that with analytics, you can use analytics to prove anything. But then that's where you talk about, okay, I'm going to take your analytics and I'm going to shove it up your ass because I can see by the eye test it's not working. But analytics says it is. I mean, if analytics is 100%, I would win the damn lotto right now because I'd be running my analytics to see what numbers are going to come up on Tuesday for Mega Millions or Wednesday Powerball. Then I'd be. You guys could say sayonara. I'd see you later.
The stock market's the highest it's ever been, and we're in the worst recession. You think VORP is better than that? You have to be careful with analytics. You just have to be careful with it. It's a tool. It's not a solution.
It's a resource. You're exactly right. It's something you can use, but at the same time, if you want to go just off analytics, it's not going to work.
Right. And I think that's what got Jim in trouble last season. Sorry, Dave. The old coach.
I was letting that one go. Go ahead. I was letting that one go. Go ahead.
It's like he thought he was really smart about, hey, look at this new trend of analytics. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do that here in Chicago, and shots at the rim and corner threes, and it's going to be. But it's like he read basketball analytics for dummies and thought that he was a genius. And it was like, dude, you don't have the personnel to do what you're trying to do right now. And he refused to change it at any point. And Bulls fans were sitting there. God bless the hearts of the ones who were still watching in February and March saying, why are we doing the same shit?
And I should have mentioned this on Friday, but I got a little worried about John's mental state. But knowing the rest of the coaching staff, they're trying stuff too. And some of the stuff they're trying, they're not going to particularly say, well, we wanted to do so and so and it didn't work. Coaches, they're not that transparent. But what they are doing is taking notes, and during the game, and then I could see Billy turning around and going, yeah, we're not doing that shit anymore. Mark that off the list. That's not working.
Hey, Will, what did you see from Kobe White tonight? Did it give you more faith in him being that kind of point guard that can kind of facilitate? Because we talked about in the third quarter, the pick and rolls that he was running and how good he looked running those. Did his play tonight give you more faith in his point guardsmanship?
Yeah, but there's still a lot of inconsistencies. But what I'm seeing, though, is I love it when they run, and this is what we used to do a lot when we were in the Bulls. Like, remember we've had this conversation with Kendall and Jason. I think there needs to be a designated man taking the ball out of bounds, and that's either the 4 or the 5. Take your pick. You can change that designation nightly depending on who the defender is. Like most of the time it was me, but when I was playing games against like Shaq or Eaton or, a big that couldn't run, we'd flip it up and Horace would take it out and I'd run the floor, right? But then what that does is now we talk about Kobe looks to penetrate, can't find it, brings it out. This is a secondary break now. You don't pull it out and run a play. The trail man, which is the man that took it out of bounds, then just goes over and sets the pick. For some reason, Kobe and the offense seems to run so much smoother off the break than it does when you set it up in the half court and then try to do the same exact thing.
Yes.
And I don't know. I haven't watched enough film to know why, but I just think that they need to have like 3 or 4 options. First there's the fast break, there's a secondary break, there's the third option to where maybe we just, you got to have half court offense. But I think that, quite honestly, I think they need to take a page out of D'Antoni's book when he was at Phoenix, when he was at Houston. But at the same time, until, in just my opinion, until Kobe gets really comfortable. Because, again, we see, like, the inconsistencies, just like with Zach. I mean, Zach was putting his head down, attacking the rim, getting into the body, finishing. We kept asking, where was that last year? Where's the mid-range? Get the contact, get the shot. And then all of a sudden he just jacks up some shot, and you're like, the hell was that? Because you're like, it's not like he hasn't touched the ball in like 3 or 4 trips down the floor like last year where he would just jack a shot up. And you see the same with Kobe. He runs a sweet pick and roll. He gets by the initial defender and fakes the guy off with his eyes, and then he lays it up, or he gets the 3-point play. But then he does something that's just totally – and even him, he recognizes himself. He even knows he made a mistake. He's tapping his chest. You saw that a couple times tonight. So he's still working on getting comfortable, but I would almost just hammer home with this team the importance of pushing the basketball on makes and on misses and makes. But this is where, again, we talk about film study, film study, film study, film study. I mean, guys, we literally in those years we were winning the championships, our practices were about 4 or 5 hours long. But of that, half of that 5-hour window was film study. I mean, practice was supposed to start at 10.
So you just had like 10 VHS tapes stuffed in your gym bag all the time?
We would always watch film as a team. And Phil would just wear it out with that rewind button, man. Wear it out. And then we would go down on the floor and work on exactly what we just worked on. Whatever it was we were doing wrong. And that's where I just think that you got to wear these guys out in the film room as far as just breaking this stuff down and looking to push the pace. But yet every night that Kobe goes home, Zach goes home, to me, more guys than that, but those are the biggest culprits. Good, bad. Yeah. Watch this 3 times tonight. Good decisions, bad decisions. Good shots, bad shots. And just
right. I picture film sessions under He Who Must Not Be Named as like, remember the Titans and be inspired, right? Like
Hoosiers. No, it was
analyze
Hoosiers.
the film of the game you played the night before. It's like Field of Dreams.
Right.
Remember Field of Dreams was great?
He said that's a movie.
What the worst.
Hey, we know. Guys, I'm going to go because I'm about to die on my computer and I got to find my charger. But this is really fun.
Well, it's we're coming up on 10:30, so we should wrap it up anyway. But hey, we got a win in the win column.
Big Dave, last thing.
Either way,
where's your little Men in Black pin? Because I think you need to use that on Mr. Peck, so he'll just forget about the past and bringing up that guy.
Why do you think I have this? It is ready to go, Will. Ready to go. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not done dipping into that well. It's a great well for content. Now that we're out of our lives, it's a great well for content.
It's a service of love, Will. I do it out of love.
Service of love, indeed. Will, thank you so much for hanging out with us again, man. It's always a pleasure. We appreciate the insight. We appreciate the stories. I feel like I learned so much just listening to you just now.
Seriously.
Well, that's why they should use this season.
For real.
Thank everybody for hanging out with us. And we got our next preseason game on Wednesday, right?
Time for me to go.
Go ahead, Will.
But I also want to make sure you understand it's time for me to sprocket.
Will Purdue, ladies and gentlemen. Big Dave, John. That's how we just spent our Sunday night.
All right.
So,
legend.
There that is. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday.
That was the whole day. I miss you guys. Goodbye.
Bulls Thunder on Wednesday for Big Dave and John. and the recently exodus Will Purdue. Matt saying thanks for hanging out with us on Hot Mic, everybody. We'll be back on Wednesday. Peace out.